Beautiful, beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful, guys. Welcome. It's a Monday morning. You already know the forecast. It's going to be a shitstorm. I'm your host, Arius Bookman. What is this? 44, 45, something like that? Something like that. Today I'm going to be doing my talking. I'm going to be doing more talking than showing you any videos. If I even decide to show you the videos. Good to see y'all in the chat this morning. Amar, welcome to the show. Dawson, good to see you, man. Society Ejax, welcome back. Lucid Bay, what's that? From the root to the crown. Good chakra to you all. Activate your anus, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Gerald. Good morning, y'all. Good to see you in the chat. All right, this is the plan for today. Today I'm going to do a chakra lecture. First and foremost, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I've been meaning to do at least 3 lectures for the show. And I mean, every time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. 2 things. One, I don't have enough. I know what I'm talking about, but I don't have enough. What's the word I want to use? I don't have the straight line I want to have in order to say, hey, this is this right here. Because it's not necessarily what I'm doing. So it's either that I'm looking at, okay, the structure, I want to work on a little bit, and then the other thing is that I kept coming up with other ideas on what to do. So like I said, I'm going to 52. Course song, good to see you in the chat, man. Welcome to the show. Y'all keep them umbrellas out. Watch me do it today. I'm telling you, I'm talking shit today. I'm talking shit today. So yeah, that's today. That's what today's gonna be. The first metaphysical maps lecture. I don't know if this is gonna be 1 or 2. We're gonna fuck around and find out today. Fuck you talking about. But before we get into that, I gotta give you the shit that I know you came for. Holla at your boy real quick. Smooth. Always love it. Alright. Let me start throwing some of these open. I don't like to open everything as soon as I get on my computer and turn it on because I like that shit to, I like it to come up, give it a chance to say, okay, I'm awake, what's going on? You know, even when I get out of bed, you know, I want to chill, I want coffee, I want to smoke, I want to sit back before I have to do. You know, so I get it. I ain't mad at it. And see, when I do the thing where I anthropomorphize and treat inanimate objects as though they weren't, we generally do it, but I'm not trying to claim some type of panpsychism. It's more so for me an exercise of jumping out of this a little bit and not being so caught up in the way I've always done the narrative. Damn it, open up. What are you doing? But, okay, never mind. Never mind me, my talking to myself and things around me. This is what we're going to do today. Like I said, I'm doing the chakra lecture, okay? And my biggest hurdle on jumping into this one has been talking about what the fuck this is even a discussion about. Okay? Not only that, the different places I would have to take you in order to tell you what it was you've been looking at. But like I said, I'm gonna fuck around and find out today. Because I was being a dick to myself. I'm like, you can't do it yet, bro. Chill out. You can't do it yet, bro. Chill out. But I kind of totally can. So you're gonna see that today. Why is this? This is not the one I wanted. Is this? That's not what I guess it is what I opened, huh? If this was came up, it's probably what I opened. All right, stop being a dick, dude. So, first things first. What are we talking about when we're having the conversation about chakras? Okay. What are we talking about? First and foremost, from just the information you get from this show, the information you could get from actually listening to physicists and philosophers, people who actually do some of the work that motherfuckers claim they're doing, what you learn from actually listening to them is that for the last 40 years, and quite publicly, so it's not like it's been hidden away, quite publicly, at least the last 40 years, the scientists have known, more especially the physicists, you know, your general relativity and your quantum physics, the physicists have known space-time is not fundamental. What are the implications of that? You'll say, well, Arius, I know the physical world is an illusion. What do you mean? Okay, cool. This is nothing new, Arius. Watch me do it, though. Okay, because if space-time isn't fundamental, the things in space-time, the symmetries of space-time, the artifacts of space-time are not fundamental. Things like melanin, DNA, all 33 vertebrae in your spine, and if there's oil in your tailbone, that's part of space-time too. None of these things are fundamental or spiritual at all. Like I was last night. Timon, good to see you in the chat. Timon times 2. Listen in the background while I work. Hey, look, keep your ears open. Keep your ears open. You're gonna miss me do it because I said watch me do it. But hey, keep your ears open. I'm just talking shit. Is that a globe on your shirt? No, it is a light bulb from Rockaware. Apparently, when I wear this, I show my age, so it's there, guys. Yeah. So what the fuck are we talking about? If it's not, because look, space-time, right? The things in space-time, that ain't it. So your glands. I don't care which gland you point to. I don't care what specific thing you think you know it do. I can tell you right now, it's not part of the fundamentals of reality, and there's no reason wasting your time construing that to be spiritual. Most people don't comprehend the controversy that arises when you add the class of matter to your ontology. What it does metaphysically to your whole work. Okay? Yes. I'm not saying matter isn't real. I'm saying as an ontological category, it is not fundamental. And when I say matter, that includes energy. See, people will throw energy out there, here, as a fill word, but they don't actually know what it is. It's an artifact of Western science, an artifact of physics. You say energy, you may as well say matter. You're talking about the same thing in the same system. It's the same pantheon, if you will. Nah, fuck Arius though, right? Okay, so once again, what are we talking about? First and foremost, we're not talking about anything made of particulate matter. I don't care how cool melanin is to you. It is not spiritual. And it is not the fundamentals of a spiritual framework. It is not your glands. Okay? Like the idea that whatever it is the fuck you are is stopped because of granules of calcium on a baby ass piece of meat. That's what's stopping the almighty you, right? But stop. I was sitting there last night on Instagram listening to two dudes argue, having a pseudoscience debate. And I'm sitting here listening and I'm like, as much as I want to go in and tell them, right? I'm like, no, look. I'm listening. I'm like, damn. Let's say I say what they're saying is correct. Let's say that I say it's about activating your melanin properly, so you gotta eat a certain way, you gotta drink a certain way, you gotta do things a certain way, as in think in a certain way. Cause you know these niggas will tell you, you gotta vibrate this and that, you gotta vibrate here. You know, one nigga got all the different frequencies you need to vibrate at, and I asked him, and he won't answer. What is it that's vibrating? They'll tell you, you gotta vibrate to a higher frequency, and that's how you move through your chakras. What's the thing that's vibrating? What's the thing that's vibrating? Well, you. Ain't we been here before, right? Ain't we been here before? What is you? What is you? Remember, Western science tracks the behavior of abstracts that they use. They're convenient fictions. They're variables. These are not the fundamentals of reality. These are not the fundamentals of reality. When you're describing things like matter and energy, the artifacts of physics, you're describing behavior. You're not saying what it is. And so to take those things like melanin and atoms and carbon is 666, that's really what it is. That's what our ancestors were talking about. They were talking about 666. No, it's dumb. It's dumb. Taking all the items of Western science and saying, okay, this is really what it was. All you're doing is claiming that Western science has the supremacy on understanding the nature of reality. Otherwise, why would you reduce all these spiritual frameworks to it? That makes Western science and space-time fundamental, and it's not. See, this is metaphysics. It's not just saying a sciencey word and a spirity word, putting them together so a nigga who don't know what none of that mean, look at it and say, So we have to understand, what the fuck are we even talking about? Chakras are not something in the physical body. Society ejects. Yes, I was always not convinced about the third eye being activated. Hey, look, I hope when you was not convinced and you was in the room niggas talking shit, you said a little something. I hope you said a little something. Look, I'm telling y'all, with the spiritual shit, ain't a thing you gotta activate that ain't already working. You gotta stop doing the bullshit you've been doing. And see, before you go down the line of thinking you know what I'm talking about, stop. What is you? When I said the shit you've been doing, what you did you plug in? That's what you really believe. Fuck all the capping ass shit you say. That's what you really believe. That's what you really believe. Humanity, personality, body. And the sooner you stop lying to yourself about it, the sooner you get to work. Fuck you mean? Okay, so look. All right, Aries. Chakras aren't something in the body. Okay. Oh, no, I gotta nail this one down. I gotta fucking nail it down. Just because you correlate or correspond a gland in the physical body to the idea of chakras does not mean chakras are in the body. Let me say it again. Just because you correspond a gland to the idea does not mean the idea is in the body. 4 fingers. I can correspond these to the 4 elements. Does that mean the elements are there? This is what my fingers actually are, is the 4 elements. No. It does. Just because you correlate to things doesn't mean you've mapped causation. Doesn't mean you're talking about causality. That's what we're talking about. Metaphysics. Spirituality? You're talking about the causal aspects of reality. Space-time is emergent. All the things that emerge in space-time are not outside of space-time. Y'all motherfuckers talking quantum this and that. That's like saying, okay, look, I see areas, and okay, I'm gonna learn more about areas, so let me look closer, and you're talking about pixels on the screen. It ain't the thing. If you're using the artifacts of Western science to describe your spiritual fundamentals, you're wrong. If you are using the artifacts of Western science, more especially physics and physics and biology, because that's what niggas love. Niggas love to try and take physics and biology and speak like they know what they're talking about to begin with. You start claiming melanin does this, and that really that this was the secret they've been trying to hide from you. Niggas eat it up, and it's ridiculous. And so that's what I was looking at when I was looking at the live between the two dudes talking a pseudoscience. I was like, okay, look, man. As I'm really listening to them, they're not debating anything I'm talking about. They're debating with biologists. Like, none of the shit they talking leaves the physical. None of it. What the sunlight does to your melanin, which type of melanin gonna give you the most or least sunburn, or the fact that you got sunburn is because you didn't eat your veggies right. Like, bro, that's the debate for biologists. So I'm like, wasting my time, all right? But I don't want to waste my time here. I want to give you as much as I can about this topic. And to be completely honest, out of all my chakra lectures, this is probably going to be one of the worst. Hey, because I'm about to fuck around and find out you're going to walk around this goddamn bush with me. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right, so where do I want to take this today, okay? As I look at it from where I'm standing now, there are two places I want to take this, possibly three. I'm gonna go here. It's just difficult for me to figure out where I want to go first because there's not really an order you need to know them in, but they define each other so well that it's difficult to separate them. But I kind of have to explain them, more especially if niggas don't even know what we're talking about. So I'm gonna go to that. We're going to talk about what it is first. We're going to talk about the sevenfold pattern, its nature. And then we're going to jump into chakras. Here, this is what I'm going to do then. Because I should have changed this earlier and I didn't. And I'm a piece of shit. Y'all, look. While I change this real quick, you really got to understand. I don't be joking about that shit. Metaphysical maps. I don't be joking about that shit. I'm a piece of shit. And you'll laugh and pretend like you in the club too, but then I talked to you and it was all cap. You really want to be a good person and like to think of yourself as such. And you don't even like the fact that you do that. It's like 3 to 4 layers of lies, and you come up to me smiling, capping like a motherfucker. I'm like, nigga, stop. Like, bro, you just paid money. There's no need to cap. Chill out. Slow down. But there's the thing though. The cap is like in them. It's part of their identity. It's like people who have trauma that instead of necessarily analyzing it, they identify with it. Because you kind of have to identify with it to suppress it in yourself. And so it becomes part of their identity. And so they can't see themselves without seeing themselves as this thing that's been violated. Don't treat trauma like it's something you shouldn't have. Okay. I got my banner set. I got, all right, where do I want to start? Like I've told you all before, the chakras is a map. Let's go like this. Boom, boom. All right, jumping into it. The chakras, like the tree of life, like the zodiac, are a map of reality at large, okay? They I know you're gonna see them a picture of a human body with the chakras overlaid. You'll see it with the tree of life as well. You'll even see it with the zodiac, okay? And so where people fuck up, first thing they do is assume that because that physical body is there, what you're being told is that these things are in the body. I don't care if there's 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 of anything in the body. It doesn't mean that's what these people were talking about. Because then what happens? What have you done? What's your argument? What you're saying is what's essential, what's the primary, what's the focus, what's the thing to talk about is the body. And remember, I'm not my body, I'm more than my body. But then you want to make it super? No, you missed it. Well, really, it's because this place is a prison. You got to go in the body to get the keys. No, if it's a prison locked from the inside with no guards and the doors open. Like, what the fuck you mean? Once again, it goes back to the calcium pineal thing. Here you come, super duper supreme, I'm all these gods head ass. But a meat bag is stopping your supreme ass. Fuck out of here. It's not the meat bag, it's you. It's all the shit you got in you. What do I mean by you? What did you just think about your body again? You. Remember, you're not your body. If you're not your body, you're not the personality, because that's the software for the hardware. And of course you need it. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But once again, what is you? It ain't your body and your personality. And you can throw a spiritual word out there and say, ha, Aries, look, I've answered your question. I said soul. I said spirit. I said melanin resonance. Whatever. Okay, wonderful. Because see, it wasn't about answering the question with your trauma, with your school trauma. It's about, okay, you're just pointing to it. Okay, now show me the rest of the context. Show me the framework. And don't show it to me because, oh, look at Aries, you got to prove it to me. No, show it to you. I talk to people consistently. And as much as you think you know it, when you're called to say, like actually put it into words, you fumble. And you fumble hard. And see, this is part of the process, so I expect it. That's why I usually offer more than one call in the series, because you're going to take the first call fumbling. If you don't spend the whole series capping about whether or not you actually know. Because all you ever invested in is the feeling that you know what this stuff means. I'm in the group. I said chakras and kundalini. Kundalini is not something in your spine. Okay? Kundalini's talking about the traversing of the terrain, the actual movement, the journey through these chakras. But then again, okay, here we go. What are we talking about when we're talking about chakras? What are they? First and foremost, because when you start to read some of the, I guess you can say internet literature, if you will. Here, let me see what I can pull up in front of me. When you start to read some of the literature, I mean, because I wanted to look at things that were proximal. It's like, okay, it's not difficult to understand some of this stuff if you actually start to look at it. But when we're talking about chakras, what you know is the 7 chakras are 7 categories. Okay, they're not even simply things. You know, you'll hear people say the arguments like, you got 144 chakras on your pineal gland. And where's my other thing? Here it is. You know, that's how you have 144,000 chakras or demons or 72 goetic demons on your pineal gland, and it's just ridiculous because they don't know what they're talking about there, and then they reduce all that stuff to the physical world. Okay, so I'm telling you can throw that out. This is what I'm saying. They're classes of energy centers, and I don't even like to say energy centers. This is new shit. Fuck. Here's a better way of saying it, is that they're focal points. They're points of tension. All right, they're points of tension. The chakras, like the tree of life, like the zodiac, is a map of reality at large. It is a map of reality at large. And this is going to be part of the reason why matter, or the concept of matter as an ontological category, is going to mess up your interpretation of these things. Matter as a concept, as an ontological concept within the philosophy of physics, or even the Western mind, more especially at this point, it's inherently devoid of the thing you're looking for. The what is this? Western scientists will tell you themselves. They're not telling you what things are. They're predicting behavior. And you need to be able to predict behavior to make your phone, to make the wonderful coffee cup I have, to make your computer. Your brain is consistently predicting behavior. That's why it generates an image of the world. So that it's doing, the only way you can do that is by predicting. It's predicting, it's working its best to see, okay, based on what I know, what's the next thing that's coming. When we're saying a map of reality at large, okay, I'm not going to explain this to you with any of the artifacts of Western science. Here, let me pull the picture up, because you niggas think I'm playing. I'm not going to use any of the artifacts of Western science to explain this, because I don't need them. Here, let me pull this. Because I have one diagram that talks about, okay, what the fuck are these things? Not that. There we go. Okay, so I can see this shit. I forgot what I was just saying there. No, I have an image. We're gonna come back to that one. This one, boom. Okay, I have an image. If you're talking about any of these are the derivatives thereof, okay, if you're talking quantum as in going further down, you're still playing space-time, okay? Gerald Sunbright, you said before that people treat trauma like it's something you shouldn't have. I think that's where most of the trouble comes in from dealing with trauma. Yeah, people throw the baby out with the bathwater. They have an ideal of what it is a good human is, what it's supposed to be. Like, like with you have all these different metrics for what it is to be a diseased person, infirmed, but there's no metric for a standard of health, because none of that stuff is about health. Anyways, let me get back to this. I'm sorry. Yeah, but trauma is something you're supposed to have. It's part of the unfolding process. It's part of the unfolding process. Okay. The chakras, like the tree of life, like the zodiac, are a map of reality at large, and you don't want to confuse the map with the territory. Okay, you don't want to confuse the map with the territory. You get a map and there's a legend on the map and it has all the little icons that say, let's say there's a mountain on the territory, right? You got the little triangle with the little snow on the top icon on the map, right? But if you confuse the map with the territory, you'll look at that icon and say, really, that's a mountain. That's what this is. Don't you see it on the picture? They're trying to tell you right here. Don't confuse the map with the territory. The map is a symbol that points to the territory, okay? The chakras, the tree of life, the zodiac, these are maps that point to the territory. You're experiencing the territory. No. Once again, would you do physical body, 3 dimensions? See, motherfuckers will talk dimension this, dimension that, and don't ever research what dimensions are. A point has no dimensions. A line has 1, a square has 2, a cube has 3. We all know that, right? But when we went from 1 to 2 to 3, did I go somewhere? Is that a place? No. Motherfuckers don't understand dimensions, so they try and just throwing sciencey sounding words and spirity sounding words together with no comprehension of how either of them work, because if you put those two together, that must be it. You're not even looking at how deeply in agreement you are with materialism. And the idea that is what is fundamental is particulate matter and energy. It's a fucking dualism. And then you get out. I was about to fucking go off. Sorry. Okay. So why am I showing you this image, right? When I'm saying that we're using the chakras in this particular lecture, when I'm saying that the chakras are a map of reality at large, what I'm also saying is that all of the root chakra is the whole of the physical world. Okay? Now granted, millennia ago, we didn't need to explain it this way because there was no concept of matter like it is today. Okay? Matter has no continuity with the divine. All right? It doesn't even postulate that such a thing could be. Yet here y'all motherfuckers come, divine out the ass, and can't let it go. And I get it. See, when I'm saying it, I did it. What you think I popped out the womb, knew all this shit? Oh, here, I got it. No. Shut the fuck up. Before you know, you have to not know. And if you don't give yourself space, to not know, you're just gonna get better at telling yourself you know what you think you know. Niggas out here sun gaze about to break their fucking eyeballs. Look, you're gonna do it in the early morning and the late evening. But I say don't do it at all. The root chakra is all of the physical world. To be more specific, I would say all of space-time. Okay, not space and time generally, but space-time as a medium. One of the things about space-time, and I say this, is that the way that you move through space will condition your experience of time. The way that you move through space will condition your experience of time in space-time, okay? We're all on the same planet that's moving the same relative speed. So you don't feel speed. You feel acceleration or deceleration. Like if you're in a car or in a plane, when it's cruising 75 miles an hour slick, you don't feel nothing. What you feel is when it goes faster or goes slower. Same thing on a train or a plane or a bus, okay? That's how the planet works. It's moving at a constant speed. You're not experiencing acceleration of the planet because it's not accelerating, okay? The planet Earth is named Earth. It's named after this concept. This isn't the only place you see the concept of the lowest portion being called Earth. It goes the same way in the Tree of Life with Malkuth, and it also goes the same way in the construct of the 4 elements. All right, Earth is the lowest. The planet is named after that concept, like how the fruit orange is named after the color. Right? Here's the other example I use. If you have a king whose name is King, and I ask you, what's it like to be king? Well, am I talking about the person or the position? If you have a king who's named King, if you have a planet that's named Earth, and when I say, okay, well, what does this have to do with Earth? Are you talking about the place, the position, or the planet? Okay. The root, the lowest, the densest. That's what you're talking about, okay? All of these things are artifacts of space-time, all right? To be completely honest, they are mapping behavior. They're mapping behavior. They're not telling you what any of this underlying stuff is, okay? They are mapping behavior. Oh my God, please stop reducing everything to the physical body, okay? Look, when we were talking about what you are is the whole damn thing. I'm all these gods, right? Where my Adam Cadmon at? Because see, once again, you guys actually have to do your research. If you sit here fucking with Western occultism, you kind of got to go through and do the homework. Stop it. Oh, I just made a copy of it on accident. I gotta zoom into this a little bit. Where my zoom? I can do it like that. This is the color picture. I should probably go. I'll keep up the color picture right. You can't even see it that well. Fuck you talking about? Nah, here's what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna pull this up so you can see a little better than this. Well, let's see. Look, come on. Slow down. Maximize it. Zoom in. Alright, you're not doing too bad. Alright, look. This is one of the pictures of Adam Cadmon I like the most. What are we talking about when we're talking about Adam? This Adam Kadmon. The same way when we talk about the story of Adam and Eve, you know we're not talking about physical Homo sapiens that existed in the history of the planet. You know that. What you don't know is that you don't just reduce all this stuff to the physical body, because then you may as well have just said these people existed in history. You're in the same place. You're playing the same game. You just say, no, it ain't really about them, it's about me. Really, it's all about me. Okay, well, what is you? Shh, don't say nothing like that. Shh. You're being difficult, Aries. What is the Adam Kadmon? This is the archetype of the divine man. Not man as in simply male or female. Man as M-A-N. M-A-N. You. I don't want to show that picture until I come back to this, but I'm going to walk back around to that because it's part of the threefold pattern. Okay. Anyways, what are we talking about when we're talking about chakras? Okay, what is the Adam Kadmon? The Adam Kadmon is the divine man, okay? To the degree to which you say, I'm all of this, I'm everything, you're saying I'm Adam Kadmon. That's what this is, that's what this symbol is. That's what the symbol has been. It's part of the fucking tree of life the whole time. You're saying you're Adam Kadmon, okay? Now, keep this in mind as well, because you'll see it over here. You have Malkuth, all right, right down here. Okay. You got Malkuth all the way down here, sitting at the bottom. All right, this is your tree of life, being projected from the Adam Kadmon. It's the shadow of the Adam Kadmon. The Adam Kadmon is perpendicular, and you see its shadow. Okay, that's what you're dealing with. It's projecting. I'll show you a little more of this as we continue along, because that even gets into the clip off and the primordial realm as well. But continuing. Oh, hold on, Vera, good to see you in the chat, man. This nigga finna break the eyeballs. Hey, man, look, niggas gonna break their eyeballs sun gazing, and niggas drink they piss. Like, come on, man. I don't know. Oh, you can tell me dogs eat their shit and I'm supposed to feel some kind of, nature. Chill, bro. Chill. Fuck out of here. Okay, so the degree to which what you are is the Adam Kadmon. At present, the idea of yourself as the physical body, or even the software that's running it, your personality, that's all this Malkuth. That's all the way down here in Malkuth. All right, that's the dirt the shadow is on. When I say your Adam Kadmon staying perpendicular, projecting the shadow down, the shadow of that's all the spiritual realm. It's equally as flat as Malkuth. It's flat in what sense? Not flat like in 3 dimensions. Conceptually, it's flat in relationship to the perpendicular Adam Kadmon. Okay, when we're talking chakras, it's the Kundalini. It's the movement through the densities of reality back to the upright perpendicular. That's what you're doing. That is the process of, if you're talking Kundalini and you claiming to be the I am that I am, Kundalini is the process of that unfolding and re-emerging back to the living perpendicular. Okay? The uprightness. Niggas say 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, but come on. It's not about your meat bag. I know you wanted to be the superhuman that comes and save the day. I'm the chosen one. Something chose me, and now I'm here to do what the chosen one do for you. With the Jell-O pudding. Head ass, man. Get the fuck out of here. Niggas want to be the new spooky Jesus, and they want niggas to believe it. Come pat them on the back, say check, fire, facts. Nah, we all tapping in. Fuck out of here. It's just ridiculous. They call that urine therapy. I have no idea what's so therapeutic about the process. I don't know. Look, I be talking shit. Hey, find me a nigga know the facts on the shit, not just a nigga who who, you know, how folk like to do, just take the sciencey word that you like, take the pieces that you like the Christians did, take the pieces of the Bible you like, take the piece of science you like, take the piece of spirit you like, and just put it together and say, Eureka, I done it. I'm tapping in. I'm here to give you guys some information. This is the channel I got. No, nigga, that's your bullshit. Fuck you talking about, man, please. You gotta do your research on this shit. Shit's simple, bro. It's there. But the thing is, if you don't know what you're looking at, you don't see nothing. But if you don't put yourself in a place where, hey, I could be wrong about what I'm saying, you can never be right. You just get better at feeling like you're right. That's why confidence is key for you niggas. And you fake it until you make it. Because making it ain't even really a thing for you. Once you fake it properly, then you've made it for real. Whatever. I'm sorry. Ranting. What are we talking about with the chakras? It is the process of rebuilding the kingdom, being about your Father's work. But you don't do that from human. Human is part of this physical narrative. And see, it's not even that the physical narrative is bad. The physical world is part of the whole apparatus. It is necessary. All these motherfuckers talking about, I'm going to get rid of the physical world. I will be damned. You're not. The bottom is as essential as the top. They'll say the Most High creates the most low, but by what means? Let me guess, spooky fuck magic, right? No, that's dumb. That's dumb and that's superstitious. The Most High creates the most low necessarily. As soon as you have a Most High, you necessarily have to have a most low, because by virtue of what is the Most High high. If there's no low, how can it be high? It can't. It has to immediately exist together. That's why motherfuckers sitting there with their dumb shit talking about the feminine first and it's all the feminine. No, masculine and feminine immediately, simultaneously. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Y'all niggas was mad that Christianity had men go first. Shut the fuck up. Well, really, you came from my rib. Because we're the ones who give life. Bitch, you don't give life. You're just forced to be present in its processing. Y'all motherfuckers don't cook it. Go ahead and tell me some legend about how people used to do that you ain't got no proof of. Fuck you mean? Motherfuckers talking about they just make babies by themselves. I heard one dude talking about the shit. It wasn't even the parthenogenesis thing, because I'm gonna talk about that in a second. He was talking about tumors that develop, that get so big they take a lot of blood and develop teeth and hair. And he's like, hey man, they can make babies by themselves. Are you fucking serious? That's what you have to reduce the context of what a baby is, so that you can include a tumor with teeth. Fuck out of here, bro. Name me something that does parthenogenesis that doesn't spend 75% of its life in water. It don't leave the fucking womb, and all it does is make a copy. And what happens when you make a copy of 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 a copy? Right? Fuck out of here. It's inefficient. Nature don't do no bullshit like that. Because the things that give birth like that, they scatter babies. I'm talking about everywhere. Fuck out of here, man. I'm talking about some fucking crayfish shit. Oh, got the fuck out of here. But no, niggas don't know what they're talking about. Fucking piss therapy. The chakras are a map of reality at large, okay? Once again, I'm gonna go back to what I was looking at before on the I'm on the right thing, right? Yeah, I got it. My mouse is so sensitive. Sensitive little bitch. Okay, I'm gonna stop being today. I'm gonna exit that. If I need it, I'm gonna pull it back up. Boom. Okay, look. This is why I'm transposing them over this map, okay? They're both a map. They're both saying the same thing from different people. It's the same territory that's being mapped. Reality at large, the psyche. But most people are so contaminated with the concept of matter, and that's all they have to frame what reality is, that they cannot leave Malkuth. And I'm not talking about physical. Once again, your body leaving the shit ain't you leaving. If you're the user of a computer, you taking the software out of it isn't you leaving the computer. You taking the software out and putting it in another computer isn't you leaving the computer. You are the user. It has nothing to do with the body and the personality. Yes, those will most certainly be affected. And yes, you do need to have an integrated personality to run the game properly. I won't deny you that at all. But that ain't the work. Get up from the computer. Get up from the video game. See, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually get back to perpendicular. And if you think body is stopping you, oh Supreme One, you are outside of your mind. It is your foundation. It is supporting. It's the bottom of the whole thing. But it ain't you. And I'm gonna fucking slip to try and pretend like you say it is, but you say it's not. No, look. You can transpose the chakras over the tree of life, okay? Talking about the same thing when it comes to Malkuth. So when I show you things like cells, melanin, DNA, okay, subatomic particles, planets, stars, quasars, hypermassive black holes, dark energy. We talking about that. We talking about that bottom little red part right there. All that's in there. See, when you're going up and down the levels of what you think is moving away, you're still in the game. You're still in the game. There's no place in the game you got to get to put it down. Okay, yeah, you may want to wait till you get to a safe spot. Not necessary. Oh shit. Especially if you're talking about, I'm leaving this game and I'm never coming back. But let me save real quick. Let's stop. Let's stop. Okay, what are we talking about? Now, this can't get much more complicated. Or not even much more complicated, because if you get this, it'll just be a natural extension of what I'm talking about. But like I said, this may end up being 2. We're gonna see where I go. First and foremost, the way you can look at this, okay, is densities of your own conception of self. Collection, just like your body is a collection of particulate matter, okay? The collection of, you have collection of emotions, collections of thoughts. And I don't like to try and separate thought and emotion too much. There is a distinction between the two, but they so often intermix and quite thoroughly that it can be difficult sometimes to distinguish between the two. So I won't deny you that. Yeah, particulate matter, emotions, and thoughts. Most of that is what's going to make up your body and personality. Okay? This is because I'm not telling you to vibrate higher. Because what's the thing vibrating? If you're telling me it's soul, you just put it back in the physical world. That ain't a physical world thing. Like I was saying back in one of my other videos, soul, things like soul, spirit, and mind are retranslations of the old word psyche. This is what we're talking about. You want to say all is mind, the whole of reality, reality at large, is the psyche, as distinguished from a psyche. It is the psyche. So when you're looking at the tree of life, the chakras, the zodiac, the elements, you're looking at a map of reality at large, of the psyche at large, the psyche. Okay? Again, I don't have any melanin here. I don't have any neurons. Neurology and psychology are completely different. All right? The brain, once again, another piece of space-time, has no causal power. It has no causal power to create your awareness. It can condition it. It's like if I have a window and I put some red film over it, and I say that because the red light comes through the window, that the window produces the redness and the light. No, the window doesn't produce the light. It may condition the light because of the film you have over it, but it don't produce the light. The meat bag, especially the brain and your lovely pineal, don't produce the light. They don't produce it. It's not causal from the brain. I don't care how far up your backbone your spooky oil goes. The brain isn't causal. The brain isn't causal. I don't care how many achievements you get in Xbox. You ain't getting no bitches for that. You ain't getting no points for that shot. Ain't nobody giving you an award. You're going to get the little click on the screen, and that's it. And look, in context of the screen, that's important. Okay? All right, I got my system, you know what I'm saying? Look at my achievements. Like, fuck you talking about? But stop. You see this enchanted sword I got from this dungeon? Fuck these niggas. Yeah, it's important in the context of that. I won't deny you that. You need your body and personality to go to Walmart. But when we're talking about conception of self, knowledge of self, it's a whole different conversation. It's a whole different conversation. See, it's within the context of the game, it's almost harmless, if not somewhat beneficial, to describe your world based on matter. Matter is the game. Matter is all the game stuff. Okay? It makes sense within that context to do it. But when you leave the context of that framework, it don't stand up. Like I said, even for the last 40 years, quite publicly, Western scientists are telling you their models of physics don't have a floor under them, and they're trying to find a floor. When you're looking at the zodiac, when you're looking at the chakras, when you're looking at the tree of life, this is not telling you what to do. This is why people come up with the idea of vibrating higher. But what's vibrating, dude? Let me guess, the things in space-time? You missed it. What, it's going to leave space-time? Bro, I want to see some shit from your video game leave the game. It don't. It can't. That's a completely different bandwidth. It's a completely different dimension of reality. Fuck you talking about? That shit don't work like that. But motherfuckers don't understand how these things work. They just say the word. Okay, so look. This is what we're talking about. Once again, to sum it up so I can jump into the sevenfold pattern, okay? This is what we're talking about. It is a map of reality at large. The map doesn't tell you how to navigate the territory, okay? So this isn't telling you what to do. It's representing the territory of the psyche you already experience. So there's no new thing to go do except figure out what the fuck you're looking at. Okay? When we're looking at this representation of space-time, it's not to say that space-time is actually a red sphere or a red circle and Aries just decoded it and unlocked it. No. The icon on your desktop that's not what the file looked like for real. Okay, when you drag it to the trash, even though the data is deleted, the process does not actually reflect what you see on the user interface. So you got to get out the user interface and get to what the fuck is behind it. And the first way to do it is to let this shit go. Now, I'm not saying throw the baby out with the bathwater. See, I'm actually telling you what to do with the map and the territory. First thing, let me go. The idea you have of me, actually be honest about it. Don't just decorate it with the new words you heard. Don't just decorate, what is me? It must be soul chaos being chakra wizard. Yep. Melanin madness. No. Slow down. Take the body and the physical world out. And see, some motherfuckers don't even understand the distinction between physical and non-physical. And to be honest, Millennia ago, we didn't need to make the distinction because no one had added the ontological category of matter. We didn't need it. There was no point in it. Now, you're going to have to because you motherfuckers is inundated. How do I know you're inundated? He ain't talking about me. Fuck Aries. I know I'm talking about you. How I know you inundated? Because I was. And I was standing right next to your bitch ass talking the same shit. Fuck you mean? Wrong as hell. Wrong as hell. Boy, stop. Anyways. Okay, so I told you this is a map of reality at large. I told you this has nothing to do with particulate matter. I told you the part that constitutes your body and your personality. Only in a very, very general sense. Okay? Because you have to keep in mind, once again, it's a representation of a thing. And so reality at large is not divided into little chunks. Like the ocean, there's densities to the ocean. It's not divided with lines. When we're talking a map of all of reality, pull up infinity, okay? Pull up infinity, and people like to think of infinity as some type of a monolith. And in one respect, it is. But infinity is infinite, bruh. There are infinite densities of infinity. What we're talking about are different densities of infinity. Different densities of infinity. I can create a spatially infinite world inside of a computer, especially if it loops around and reflects different parts of itself back to itself. I can have the appearance of a place. That's what the physical world is. It's the appearance of a place. Your body is tuned to do the things fuck, feed, and have a future. Okay? It's only tied into those things. Your senses don't pick up reality. They pick up what's displayed on the user interface. And to be honest, if you could see the reality of what's going on behind the user interface, you wouldn't be able to operate the user interface effectively. And I'm telling you, you need to do that. Go to Walmart, you know what I'm saying? Go over that little bitch house, get you some cheeks, do your thing. You need the hardware and software to do that. It has its place, okay? But that's the thing, it has its place. So we're talking about different densities of infinity, the same way we talk about densities of the ocean. The same way we talk about densities of the atmosphere, okay? It's very simple, okay? You can have a multiverse of three-dimensionally apparent worlds in one place. What? Slow down. Think about it. Come on. I get a video game, right? I get the disc. This disc holds the potential for infinitely many playthroughs, none of which leave the bound of the disc ever. Infinitely many playthroughs, infinitely many ways I can build my character. Maybe even a whole bunch of shit to do other than beat the main boss. All of which never leaves the bounds of the disc. When I show you the fractal triangle, that's the important part. It's that you have infinity without leaving the bounds of a finite place. Okay, so something being finite doesn't disqualify it from having an infinite nature. We're talking about infinity, densities of infinity. So once again, this map doesn't tell you what to do. I'm going to talk to you about that. The map doesn't tell you what to do. It's not supposed to, okay? Well, I'm going to give you some Google Maps. I guess I'm going to be the metaphysical Google Maps, nigga. I'm going to have the real nigga voice telling you, hey nigga, turn left. Fuck you, turn. How you missed the turn? How you missed it? Hold on, is your wife driving? That must be what it is. Your wife is driving. Nigga, turn around. That'd be cool. I should get an app, nigga. All right. So that's the first thing I told you. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump into the what would you call that thing? I want to get into talking about the sevenfold pattern, but before that, I'm gonna give you a video from season 1. Just going over a few little things that I think are going to be pertinent, okay? I've talked to you about the Trinity. I've talked to you a little about the fourfold pattern, although most of it's been talked about at length in many different texts. The movement from 3 to 4 was critical in all of creation. Okay, you have creation, generator, operator, destroyer, the Christ, the threefold pattern, and then you have the created. Okay, Christ is the image of the Most High. The Most High is the Most High, and then you have that which is created in the image. See, motherfuckers act like Christianity didn't have no women up there, but stop. The Holy Spirit. Fuck you mean? Like I said, you can't get rid of the bitch, but you can ignore her. And that's probably worse than death sometimes. Okay? We're talking about 1, 3, that's the Trinity, and then 4. Okay? So 3 giving rise to 4, astronomical, beautiful, essential. But when we're talking about the chakras, the sevenfold pattern, we're talking about 3 and 3 plus 4. So this is 3 and 4 working together. So this isn't just, oh, I'm giving birth to you and you're the next one, which is necessary to get to this next point we're at, which is 7. But this is 3 and 4 coming together, okay? Once again, dynamics. Dynamics. Don't look for objective particles. Nobody is talking to you about objective particles. All right? Oh my God, niggas be looking for them quantum particles, but I can't deal with it. So it's different levels of space-time hold different levels of density/weight. Density and weight are going to be different. Weight is going to be measured against gravitational pull. Like if you're standing in empty space, right? You don't have weight. You have mass and density, but you don't have weight. It's like the idea that you don't have velocity without a change in position. And so if you're just standing and not moving, you don't have velocity. You can't measure a velocity. But you need to have some type of a movement through space, which is why you can measure velocity, but you can't measure position at the same time, because part of the measurement of velocity is the intrinsic necessity of movement, and so there's no one position involved in it. Measurement, as I say, is where motherfuckers start fucking up and how they conceive shit. But you need it to do mass and matter. So I mean, I understand it's a necessity. So it's different levels of space-time hold different levels of density. I wouldn't necessarily say so. I wouldn't necessarily like. Okay, the image I showed you. I think that would be the closest you get to something like that. Here, I'll throw the image up again. If you're talking about different densities of the physical world, that's gonna be what you're looking at. Where my shit at, right? This is it. This is it. There we go. If you're talking about, oh my God, you got the wrong screen up. Boom. So yeah, if you're talking about densities of space-time, I'd say these, like the symmetries of space-time. But then again, once you're still talking about inside the game. All these are the appearance of things. That's the big thing I'm fucking up. I'm still thinking of matter. I know, that's what I'm saying. You're using matter as an ontological category. It's insufficient to describe the fundamentals of reality. That's the issue. All of space-time is insufficient. All of the language surrounding space-time, conceptually, ontologically, is insufficient to describe the fundamentals of reality. And the Western science, the people who told you these things exist, will also tell you they're not describing the fundamentals of reality. But niggas is too addicted. Oh, what you science? Oh. No. I get it, because I was there too. But no, look, all of these things are the appearance of something else. Okay, what is an organism, right? It's actually just cells. Okay. So then it's cells. No, it's molecules. Oh, okay, so then it's molecules. No, it's atoms. Okay, so then it's atoms. No, it's subatomic quantum bullshit. Go ahead, go down further. Shift it down. Or we can go up, right? Okay, it's an organism. No, it's part of the planet. Oh, okay, then it's the planet. No, the planet's part of the solar system. Oh, okay, then it's the solar system. No, the planet's part of the galaxy. See, here in the physical world, I can't have an apple that didn't come off of a tree that comes from a lineage of trees. I can't. It's not possible here. It's not part of the code. It's not part of the program. Imagine an apple. If you need help, if it's just difficult to imagine an apple sitting on a counter on a sunny day in the kitchen. Next to maybe a bowl of cereal. It's easier when you have some context. That apple didn't need a tree, don't need cells. These are the appearance of things. These are the appearance of things. They are not things. They are theoretical abstractions used to track behavior. And this is not just areas saying it. They say this. They say this. So either look, like where was the lie? Did they lie in telling you that there's a thing? Okay, so they told you that melanin exists. Oh, were they lying then? Oh no, because we was always talking about melanin. Okay, go ahead, say that if you want to. We wasn't. Okay, so then where did the lie come in? Where are the experiments that say all the shit you niggas are saying about melanin? Look, bro, aside from getting some vitamin D from your skin, I don't know about no other experiments that's quantifying the shit niggas is hyping up about melanin. They not having metaphysical conversations. It's all materialism. It's all material. Okay, I'm not going to say metaphysics doesn't include materialism because materialism has its own metaphysics, which is kind of an, it's all matter. So they have their own metaphysics. It's just all matter. Anyways, yeah, like, bro, y'all motherfuckers ain't talking about spirit. You're not. You can't be. Carbon is 666. That was it? That was it? 666 is the mark of the beast. So you got the beast and the mark. Oh, it's the number of the mark of the beast, excuse me. The number of the mark of the beast. The beast, the mark, the number. Bro, the mark of the beast is the name. There was always a discussion, go back to the Arian controversies, about whether or not Christ was a creation or he was the Father. Now, you can even go as far as say the created itself is the beast. Okay, but see, this ain't some devil thing. You think you're cooler and you're spookier because you say 666. The mark of the beast is the name. 666 is the number of the shit. And the 666 don't exist outside of the 1, 3, and 9. Like, niggas are so hyped. And then they just say carbon is melanin. And that's very wrong. That's very wrong. There's carbon in many things. That doesn't just simply mean anything that has carbon is carbon. Because well, you did the same thing again. So then it's carbon. No, it's subatomic particles. Oh, well, then it's subatomic particles. No, it's quarks and strings and gluons. Fuck out of here. It's the same mistake. It's the same mistake. Fuck out of here. I told y'all I was gonna be around today. Aaron Inky, good to see you in the chat, sir. What's up? Welcome to the show. All right, what was I going? That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna throw up this video real quick. Cause like I said, I've talked to you at length about the Trinity. I know. The inclination is to say, hey, Aries, I've heard that. I get it. And I'm so tired of hearing you tell me, Aries, I get all this. And then I look and it's just all cap. Like you don't even get the fact that you don't get and you don't even know how to tell when you don't get something. Bro, I'm so hurt. Like, you have no idea how deeply disappointed I am in that shit. Anyways. Yeah, this came in two parts. I'm gonna run the first part, okay? Okay. In our current day and age, the study of occult and spiritual topics is as veiled in symbolism as it ever has been. This veil is meant to dissuade and confuse the uninitiated. Many people confused about what this or that means and using words as if they were mere toys instead of examining the meanings that are behind them. Look, before I start ranting, I'll ask this question. What is the difference between duality and polarity? First and foremost, the words duality and polarity are not interchangeable. The nature of the dynamics that they are describing do most certainly have their similarities, but as I've said before, two things that are similar are not the same. Duality and polarity are two different descriptions, describing two different densities of unity. And further yet, how those different densities of unity interact with themselves at different levels. Said differently, a unity is a whole composed of units. Units within a unity interact with each other dynamically, depending on the quantity of units involved. A unity with only one unit doesn't do much interacting with itself, aside from being itself. Such is the nature of the all. This almost goes without saying, but I say it, however, to shed light on the difference between a unity that has either 2 units or 4 units. If the subject is duality, then it's a discussion about a unity that possesses 2 units. If the subject is polarity, then it is a discussion about a unity that possesses 4 units. The relationships that are generated by these units that are in these unities creates a dynamic. These dynamics have been and are represented as symbolisms that have veiled many bodies of wisdom throughout the ages. In terms of duality, or the twofold pattern, the emphasis is that you are dealing with 2 units in a unity. Whereas in a previous segment, I described the qualities of the quantity 2 as being illusion. Here, I will use a more commonplace representation from among what are called the 7 Hermetic Principles. Here, our focus is on the second of those 7 principles, which is known as the law of correspondence. Here, being built upon the foundations established by the omnipotent singularity of the all, correspondence becomes that which will link anything other than the all to the all, thereby giving way to ideas like as above, so below. The takeaway here to remember is that without a below, there is very little necessity for an above. Allowing concepts such as without to give definition to other concepts such as within. Duality can be defined as the quality or state of having 2 different or opposite parts or elements. Once again, the point to be remembered is that these 2 opposing positions define one another in both their nature and being. A great example of this dynamic is expressed within the system of the 4 elements. The first of those 2 elements being fire and water. Where fire is hot, water is cold. Where fire is bright, water is dark. Where fire is focused, centered, and active, water is dispersed, encapsulating, and passive. The opposing natures of these elements give definition to one another, which is what is meant when I say that they define each other.
Most importantly, however, is that the dynamics of and between fire and water also serve to give rise to the remaining two elements.
Boom. Okay. Yeah. There's two parts to that video. I'm gonna let you see the other part a little while later here. But I'm gonna get to this here. Elias says, I put the notification on every time and don't get it. But put the alarm on. Put the alarm on. You're gonna leave it up to YouTube to tell you when a rare nigga doing his thing. But stop. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Welcome to the show. The Hermetica, where it's at, if you know what you're looking at. You read the Hermetica, Elias? Uh-oh. You read the Hermetica? But you read the Hermetica, Elias. I wonder how does it work with different non-physical things such as spirits, i.e. demons, gods, etc. with their whole different densities as well. Yeah. We usually think of them at first as like hierarchies, but ultimately it's really a framework of archetypes. For instance, when you say a particular demon has legions, it commands legions. That demon that's doing the commanding has a more refined density than the gross density of the legion that follows it or it commands. Okay? And archetypes work this way, so somewhat like this as well. Which they also constitute. That's the word I wanted. They also constitute the stratification of densities I'm talking about here. Remember that stratification of densities within its own context can shift infinitely, just like we're talking about with the what's the fucking image? Just like here, okay. This can shift infinitely. I got the wrong thing up. What the fuck? Go like that? Yeah. This can shift infinitely, okay? This is why I have, you can't even see that last circle at the bottom. You can't do it if there you can see it that way. This is why I have the 3 circles across the span of the 1 circle here, okay? This fourfold little framework can shift. Let's say you shift it up, right? You put all this organism, cellular, molecular, and atomic above the center of perception, or the point of view. I'd rather say it's a point of view as opposed to a center of perception, but we could debate about it. The point of view, if you move everything that's down here up to the point of view, all you're gonna do is get a new set of bottom stuff. Subatomic particles, quantum stuff. You're still in the game. That's the point. Okay, so in context of each other, this is why I give you the map of the 3 densities of reality, the 3 major densities, okay? And you look at anyone's cosmology, they're telling you this. They're talking to you about this shit. You do the tree of life. You got Malkuth, the tree of life itself, and you got the clip off. Or if you don't want to include the clip off, you got Malkuth down here, the 6 here in the middle, and the 3 here at the top, with a 3-in-1 polar relationship between the top and the bottom. Okay, whereas you have 3 Sephiroth at the top, this has the density of 3 Sephiroth, which is why it can contain the whole of the metaverse, or the multiverse, excuse me, the multiverse of space-time continuums. Because see, when you think multiverse, if you're thinking about it as though every instance some new whole thing is created, you're wrong, because you're thinking of that within the concept of within the game. When I tell you the game disc has all the potential playthroughs there, that's what I'm talking about. Now, whether or not one of them is actualized is a whole other thing, which I think is where the quantum shit actually comes in the nature of potential versus actualized, or manifest rather. Because I think by the time you get to Malkuth, whether or not something is actualized, I think it's hard to debate. So I'd rather say manifest, because then you're talking about the apparent physical form. it's there's three main densities is what I'm saying. Okay, you'll get this from most. Look, I won't be facetious or be a dick and say most. You'll see this repeated in other systems. Okay, I'll leave it at that. There are three main densities. All right, let me go back to the slide here. Oh, I gotta go like that. All right. There are three main densities, okay? The primordial, time-space, and space-time. Space-time is the entirety of the physical world. All space-time continuums. All space-time continuums. I don't want to talk about space-time right now. I always talk about space-time. I'm so sick of fucking space-time. What we're going to talk about now is the sevenfold pattern. A lie. Don't try to play me an audiobook. Audiobook head. Well, you need to look at the page. Now, did you actually get through it? Did you take some notes? I mean, I'd like to know what you learned, bro. I'm driving. Study EJ says, I'm driving. I just glanced over. Look like you have a sneaker around your neck. Oh, snake. Yeah, this is my new favorite one. Hell yeah. Yeah, bro, we fucking going through it over here. Hell yeah. Lord of Snakes, man. Hey, man, motherfucker wanted a little bit of a cameo, so, hey, well, why not? Why not? I'm relaxing, right? All right, so this is what we're getting into now. Because I told you what the idea of the chakras is. I told you what we're talking about in general. Okay, it's a map of reality at large, just like the zodiac and the tree of life. Okay. And when I say the reality at large, the psyche as opposed to a psyche. But now I want to talk about what I need to tell you in order to really explain what you're actually looking at, okay? I took the fundamentals there. I told you what the fuck we're absolutely not talking about. I gave you a general idea, so we're going to talk about the sevenfold pattern, okay? When I talk about the Trinity, I'm talking about the threefold pattern, okay? When you're talking about duality, that's a twofold pattern. When you're talking about the elements, in the West, it's a fourfold pattern. In the East, it's usually a fivefold pattern. Okay, the pattern, the quantities themselves are what we're talking about. Numbers are symbols for quantities. Okay, I'm talking about the quantity and its quality. So when we're talking about a sevenfold pattern, it's one unity that possesses 7 units. One unity possessing 7 units, composed of 7 units, okay? That's what we're talking about. Coursing says it's his Kundalini rising. Hell yeah, that thing come out the side of my neck. It don't go out my crown like really. It come out the side of my neck. I love it. Good to see you in the chat, man. Just draw my finger. Aaliyah, good morning. Good to see you in the chat. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. I want to talk about the sevenfold pattern. I've talked to you at length about the threefold pattern of the Trinity. There's plenty of information about the fourfold pattern. I think the fourfold pattern described in the West is a great crystallization of the idea. The dynamics, the qualities of the units within the whole unity. I think it's a great map for that. I don't even want to spend time telling you about it again. I'm going to do a little bit when I talk about polarity in the next video. But right now I want to talk about the sevenfold pattern. Okay, Arius, you skipped the 5 and the sixfold pattern. No, in talking about the sevenfold pattern, I'm going to tell you about those. So, I want to talk about the precarious place we're at. Okay. When I'm talking to you about the chakras, I'm going to be talking to you about the third trinity. Okay, what I call the third trinity. We've spoken at length about 3, and I'm still going to do the triple blackness of space lecture. I was juggling about whether or not I do this one or that one first, and I thought this one was more pertinent. Jaguar Spellbound says, Ashe family. Your family in here, bro? Hey, man, where y'all at, man? Where y'all at? Good Good to see you in the chat, bro. Welcome to the show. Make sure you get out your umbrella. You're gonna get covered in shit. Unless that's your thing, man. Hey, it's 2023. Who knows? All right, so I've talked to you at length about the threefold pattern and the essential nature of it. We've spoken a little bit about the fourfold pattern. That's going to be part of this video again, but you know the fourfold pattern, okay? 3 is creation, generator, operator, destroyer, past, present, and future. The formula for the creation, all right? For creation, it's creation itself. There's nothing that is created that doesn't have a past, present, and future, all right? The created, the world that the Father so loved, the grace of God, time, is what 1 gives to 3. Why? Because without that medium to express itself, creation doesn't really mean anything. Okay? So that's the medium. That's your 3 and 4. That's your space and time itself. Not space, time. Space and time, okay? That's where those things start. But that's back there. You talking chakras, it's a different discussion, okay? But I want to show you the similarities, okay? Because remember, it was 3 giving rise to 4 here. Now we're talking about 3 plus 4, okay? Which one do I want to jump to? Because after we talk about the 7-fold pattern, I'm going to show you my diagram for the chakras. So we're going to have to be worried about fucking physical bodies. Fucking idiots. Oh, I think this was in the other set of slides, and that's why I'm tripping. Boom. Okay. Here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to talk to you about 5. Boom. Okay. When we're talking the 7-fold pattern, let it rain. Yeah. Fuck you talking about, man. Go ahead, bro. So, look up now. Alright. So, like I said, with the 7-fold pattern, we're going to be talking about the chakras. God damn it, why are you not lined up? This is what I get for not using uniform slides in all of my shit, right? Kill that. You see this shit, bro? I look struggler-duggler, bro. Fuck you talking about? I gotta fix this. Gotta lace me up, bud. Alright, so like I said, the 7-fold pattern is part of the 3rd Trinity, but to get there, you kind of have to have understanding of the 2nd Trinity, and this is what I want to give you. Okay, the Trinity in and of itself, represented geometrically by the triangle. I'm going to continue showing you this geometrically because I think it's one of the more intuitive ways to express this. This unfolding pattern from 0 to the Trinity and onward. Not only can you express this geometrically, you can express this with music and sound. You can express this with color. Those are the main primary ways to do it. Okay, I'm actually brushing up on how to do it with music and color because I don't know those as well as I know geometry. I don't even know geometry that well. Like a lot of this shit is basic geometry. Damn. But you got niggas that think the Earth is flat, so of course they don't know basic geometry. Anyways, excuse me. We talked about the Trinity, represented geometrically by a triangle, okay? It is the first geometric shape to enclose the empty space upon which it exists, okay? Giving that infinite nature, the infinitely divisible inside nature, internal nature, with a finite exterior or appearance, okay? So that was 3. That was the monumentalness of 3. What 4 does as a square, it contains all triangles, okay? It brings finitude to the medium. Not just in a sense of the first geometric shape, but finitude for the space upon which that geometric shape exists, okay? So to the degree to which when you just had the triangle, the empty space was just infinitely empty, okay? The square brings solidity, foundation, okay? So now the triangle is in something. So it's not simply that the empty space is in something, which was the triangle. Now the triangle is in something, okay? And what that something is 4, the square. So the square contains all triangles. And you're saying, Arius, why is this important? Hey, well, got me on the big screen. Fuck you talking about? Hey, yeah, son. Shout out to my cousin Daryl, man. Appreciate the love, bro. Look, my family don't be watching my shit. My family's like, who's this guy? Not everybody, though. Not everybody. Anyways, when we're talking about, because once again, these are fundamental concepts of the unfolding of reality. Okay, we're not talking particles anywhere. We don't need them yet, or at all, really. Anyway, okay, so when we're talking about the fourfold pattern, that's what it does. Okay, most certainly with the inclusion of the aspect of Earth within the fourfold pattern. Okay, so that's what the square does. When we're talking about five, or the fivefold pattern, the five is the transdimensional point. Okay, this is the transdimensional part. Think about it like this, because this is the way I like to explain the idea and then come back around and do the details. Okay, Christ, the three, right? The Savior dies on the cross. 4 dies to the world and rises from it. Okay, that's what 5 does. It rises from 4. Okay, that's what I'm showing you here in this particular geometric diagram. This ray, it rises right off of 4. Okay, that's what 5 does. It introduces the addition of more dimensionality. Okay, it introduces the addition of more dimensionality. Okay, that's your 5. But keep this in mind: the atmosphere into which 5 enters is 6. Okay, so you have 4, which is setting itself as the foundation. You have 5, the moving away from that foundation, but the atmosphere into which it moves into is 6. Okay. Well, I don't have another image I wanted to show here. Yeah, this is the one I want to show. Okay. 5 rises from 4 into 6. Okay, you get this is when you first get the beginning of this agent and atmosphere relationship. It's hinted at 4. Okay, where all triangles are enclosed in the square. The idea of the agent and arena is hinted at 4. This is where it's actually expressed. Okay, where 5 rising from 4 enters the atmosphere of 6. So you have the agent and the atmosphere relationship when it comes to 5. I'm gonna come back to that, but I think this is more pertinent. Okay, when I'm talking about this agent and atmosphere relationship, geometrically, this is the first time you can take the intra connections of the points and reflect the shape at large. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. You take the intra connections of the points and reflect the shape at large, okay? The interconnections. What are the interconnections? The interconnections are point to point, okay? Point to point. These are the interconnections which makes the shape at large. The intra connections are the connections of the midpoints of these sides, okay? These sides that are substantiated by the interconnection. The intra connection is the internal, okay? It's the internal geometry, if you will. See, when you had a square, you can I have to have an image. I know I have an image of this. Fuck me sideways, right? No, it's in the other folder. And here I go. Give it to me. Yeah, here, let's do this. Throw this off. Throw that out. Throw it. Here it is. Alright. You got 3, you got 4. Now with these, okay, let's look at the inter and intra connection, okay? The interconnection, which substantiates the form itself, okay? Boom. Now, if I take the intra connection, all I can really do is trace out the inside. I can't really reflect it the way I'm reflecting 5. I wish I gotta show you the geometry at the same time, because I have the slide with where I drew this out. Let me click. Stop being so sensitive. Where did I put that triangle? God damn it. Oh, it was supposed to be. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Is this the one I want? Because I thought I had it with the square. Look me sideways. I thought I had it with the square. No worries, mate. No worries, mate. Alright. Inter and intra connection. Okay, the intra connection is shaped from the inside of the shape. And 5 is going to be the first place where that whole shape is Bruh, I'm swearing I had it. I think that last image might have been. Okay, I'm going to explain it this way. And once again, like I told y'all, it's going to be the worst one, because I got to explain things in ways I don't usually do. Okay, if we were to map the intra connection of a triangle, you're going to get this, okay? With a square, you're just going to get the cross. The pentagon is the first time that intra connection does that. And I'm looking and I thought I had the fucking image, and now I don't. Because this image, as I'm looking at it, isn't sufficient. Okay, because what you want to do is go from the point here to the midpoint, okay? Point to the midpoint, point to the midpoint, point to the midpoint. What that's going to do is give you this pentagon that I have on the inside. No, I don't think I can. No, because that was another whole image. Fuck. See, and now I'm doing a lecture. I know I need to make that image, but it's the intra connection. Okay, it's the first time that the shape reflects itself within itself. Okay. One other thing about fivefold geometry. All right, this tetrahedron, and this is going to come back when we're talking more about the chakras themselves, okay? The tetrahedron pattern. This is fivefold, all right? Just like this geometric diagram we're using here, okay? You got the 4 points on the base and the 1 point rising up out of the middle, okay? Another way you could say it, because the 4 points and the rising up is a bottom-up perspective. If you're talking top down, you're talking the 1 point at the top projecting everything down, okay? Very simple stuff, not difficult, right? This is the fivefold pattern. Like I said, 6 is the atmosphere that 5 moves into. So when we're talking about the sixfold pattern, this is harmony, okay? Not balance necessarily, it's harmony. What's harmonizing? 3s, 2 3s, okay? When we're looking at 6, I like to use the cube. I like to use the cube where we're talking about the faces of the cube, okay? Because the Star of David here does it too very well. Because 7 is going to be dealing with sealing. That's why I said these are points of tension. It's going to be dealing with sealing something. But the harmony is 6, okay? Also keep this in mind geometrically. The two-dimensional is somewhat of a shadow of the three-dimensional. That's one way we look at a lot of these things. Where's my other, fuck me. Let's see, I have to bring these all into one lecture slide because I have a couple of different lectures with this shit in there. Is this one in the other set? No, it's not in this set. I have to look at the image itself. Whatever. I'm a fucking loser. Okay, anyways. What was that? Sixfold. Excuse me. 6 faces on the cube. 6 points on the 6-pointed triangle, okay? You're bringing two opposing forces in harmony, okay? Now, you can fall out of harmony just the same degree that you come into it, okay? But the harmony itself is a thing, regardless of whether or not you could potentially lose it or you're just coming to it. Okay? Time to bring out the dry erase board. But please, I'll tell you, that fucking dry erase board be killing me. I got this shit right here. I'm still looking at it. And this is a motherfucking, this one is condensed as fuck. You niggas want to talk chakras? Fuck you talking about? Nah, hold on, let me see. I can put that shit, because I'm going to show you the shit when I do the chakra lecture. Here, look. Boom. Watch this. Let's see what it looks like. And so you can't see the colors right because I got the green screen filter on this bitch. Bro, you don't need no fucking atoms to explain none of this shit. No fucking stupid glands. Cause niggas is dumb and they don't know what they're talking about. Oh shit. I'm dumb because I'm fucking up my camera. Alright, there we go. No, I can put it down a little more. Bro, the shit's simple. It's an unfolding pattern. You can kind of draw it on. Maybe. I can draw better than a nigga who don't draw, maybe. But I doodle. I doodle, my nigga. I doodle. What you talking about? We're grown man doodles. Oh, this shit. Okay. All right. Because I'm trying to roll through these so we can get into the sevenfold pattern, okay? Because that's what you came for. But you got to understand what you're doing, what's going on, what's happening. All right? Remember, we're talking about the second trinity. Okay? It goes 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. We're about to finish the second trinity. This is the atmosphere that 5 moves into. So any 5 that jumps off, let's say 100 5s jump off of that same plane. They all move into the same atmosphere. 6 contains all 5s. Just like 4 contained all 3s, 6 contains all 5s. That one line could represent a damn near infinite many fucking rays coming off of that flat surface, okay? You need to draw them out, you can draw them out. All of them are going to come from 4, and all of them will be contained in 6, okay? 6 contains all 5. That's why that's part of the reason I don't like the idea of conceiving yourself as 3-dimensional. I would say at least 5 dimensions. But see, niggas think dimensions is places, so they can't really get with it. Whatever. Don't get pissed. Continue. I want to be pissed. Alright, so we're talking about sixfold geometry, okay? Sixfold pattern. No, now I'm talking about sixfold geometry. What do you mean? Alright, once again, 6 is the atmosphere that 5 rises into, okay? This is the beginning of that agent and atmosphere relationship. Because remember, bruh, we're coming out of 0, nothing. Trinity, and these are the beginnings of archetypes. This is the beginnings of archetypes. Where we're saying, okay, you got the archetype of plant. It contains the archetype of tree, bush, grass, and flower. All right, maybe the archetype of flower has an affair with tree and bush. And you thought it was just with grass, but no, it's been fucking around a little bit. Or maybe within the archetype of flower exists the tree flower archetype, the bush flower archetype, the grass flower archetype. Okay, they exist within one another. You're talking about densities. This is the part where it's the most refined. This is where archetypes are beginning. All right, we're laying down the fundamentals for what you would even need to have such a thing. Because remember, bro, coming out of the primordial, that's just covering what it means to be versus absolutely nothing. I'm being facetious when I say absolutely nothing. Versus the triple blackness itself, unexpressed potential. Going from that to even something is astronomical. It's not just, it wanted to know, it's so stupid. It's fucking kid story. Anyways, sixfold geometry, okay? Because just like all 3s are contained in 4, all 5s are contained in 6. Okay, 3 and 6 have a very intimate relationship. If you look at the Trinity or the threefold pattern as one unity, you could think of sixfold geometry as 2 of those unities interacting with each other. Okay, so it never stops being one thing. It's about how this one thing, what's the word, stratifies the different densities and how those densities interact. So it's not about saying there's this thing out there. All right, we're talking about the dynamic, because the dynamic is more a thing. We're used to looking for particles and objects. And I'm saying fuck particles and objects. Understand concepts and the dynamics between them. Understand concepts and the dynamics between them. That's what you're looking for. You want to understand the principles, okay? The underlying principles of this stuff. The underlying principle. Like if you see the fucking Star of David, what does it mean? What does it mean? Some nigga named David a long time ago? No. What is it reflecting? David is in the lineage of Christ, in the lineage of Adam. He wasn't just some person in the lineage of Adam. Why do I keep saying Adam? In the lineage of Adam. It's talking about the unfolding. It's talking about the unfolding. That's what I'm saying. You want to look at the fucking shit and not just say what people tell you it is, which is reducing it to the physical world, okay? Anyways, you got your 3 axes. It's also giving you the 6-fold atmosphere, okay? I just wanted to make sure that part was there and clear. All right. 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, Eris, I get 4, 5, and 6. You don't, but I'm gonna move on. Okay, I get 4, 5, and 6. Talk to me about the 7-fold. Beautiful. It's very simple, more especially once you get 6. Because look, going from 4, 5 into 6, we're talking about changing in dimensionality, right? When you go from one of the trinities to the next, you're dealing with a different density of infinity, and you usually access it through a right angle, 90 degrees. What do you mean 90 degrees, Aries? The perpendicular, I already said it. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Things exist at angles of each other of 90 degrees. These axes are 90 degrees of each other. Whatever, right? Fuck this thing, Aries. That's what I was on here. Okay, here we go. 7-fold. This is where we go. Alright? So we're in the third trinity, okay? This is the beginning of the third trinity. When it comes to the third trinity, I think the best way to explain it is from 9, 8 to 7. But I feel like avoiding that because I think it would make it more complex. And instead of y'all looking at 7, you'll end up looking for 10. And I want to save that for the Tree of Life talk because it's easier to do. It's more pertinent to do it with the Tree of Life. So I'm just gonna hit 7, and we're gonna keep moving from there. Okay, we're gonna talk about the 7-fold pattern. Once again, the big highlight is this is 3 and 4. So not 3 giving rise to 4, but 3 plus 4. Part of the reason set 12 is such a big deal because it's 3 multiplied by 4, as in the case they're mixed together. But here we're just talking about 3 plus 4, which is still astronomical, okay? In terms of the geometric diagram, we can go just adding a center point to that cube, okay? This is going to be the direction of the additional dimensionality. Just like we did 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, okay? I don't even get into 8 and 9 right now. I want to give you 7 and point to that, okay? Because what 7 does is it takes the harmony and seals it. It seals it. It makes it a thing. Okay, look, you have these 2 triangles, and they can intermix, and they can go by, and they can do a little harmony, and they're out of harmony, a little harmony, out of harmony, or this one's pushing a little harder, this one's pushing a little harder. What 7 does, and here's where your balance is, it seals that harmony so that it stays, okay? It takes the harmony that is established and seals it so that it stays. Okay, when we're talking about this harmony between the opposing sides, this seals it. Okay, you're talking like your seven sins. We're talking about the inside faces of the cube and the center being pride. Okay, you're boxing yourself in. Oh, human experience. Yeah, sure. Okay, agree to that you want to. Inside or outside the cube, but it's your choice. It's how you define yourself. Look, inside there's sins. Outside there's their virtues. Okay, it's about what is you. It's always been about that. The 7 sins ain't something out there doing spooky fuck magic to make you do bad things. That's dumb. That's dumb and it's superstitious. Okay, so 7-fold pattern. We're talking about sealing up what's been done, so to speak. That's one way. That's when I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it if I'm gonna go in the way I want to go in. I'm gonna have to do it if I'm gonna go in the way I want to go in. I'm gonna have to. Fuck me sideways. Because I was just gonna show you my 7 seals, but because a circle and a square nest together at a ratio of 9 to 8. I can show you in the square and the circle, the sphere and the cube. But if I don't talk to you about 9 and 8, the relevancy of it in the diagram won't make sense. Fuck. Alright, let's go. Like I said, in the third trinity, as opposed to explaining it from 4, 5, 6 up, it's easier to explain what you're looking at from 9, 8, 7 down, okay? So Pete. Oh, I'm already down there. Here we go. This is a supreme form of 3. This is 3 threes. This is the immutable. Okay? It is everything. Where 1 is all things as one thing, 9 is all things as everything. Where 1 is all things as one thing, 9 is all things as everything. Okay? So it's the same concept in an individualized framing, I guess you could say. And it's immutable. It's immutable. See, this is the point I'm trying to make here, okay? Look, when you start with 1, like I've told you before, 1 gives rise to 3 by way of 2. What are we saying here? In order to have 3, you had to agree to 2. Okay? Otherwise, you just state 1. It's simple, right? Same thing with 3. If you agree to 4, you need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get to 9. Because there is no 9 without the context of 4 through 8, okay? 9 is 3 threes. It's immutable. It is all things as everything. All right? 8 is the more fun part. 8 is the fun part, okay? See, the theme behind the third trinity is basically that the buck stops here. It's about as far as you go in terms of where you came from. When I say you, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about 1. And as far as 1 has come, this is where the buck stops. Because look, this is where the buck started. This is where it got to moving. This is where it stops and it gets to stopping, all right? Because what are we looking at? What are we looking at? You're moving across the square of the cube. You're moving across the diameter of the cube, okay? Where's the fucking picture? Okay, look. And this is why we're getting into 8, okay? What did 4 give you? 4 gave you the square, all right? That's the bottom side of the cube, or one face of it, right? 6 gave you the filling, the atmosphere of it. What is 8 giving you? 8 gives you the other side of the cube. So now you have 2 4s, okay? 8 is the mutable. It's infinitely mutable. Why is 8 infinitely mutable? 8 is the difference between 7 and 9. It's the defining line. It's what makes the difference, distinguishes the difference between 7 and 9. 7 is the furthest anyone can get to 9. Look, we've gone from 1. Oh, it's on the other set of slides. Here we go. Here, let me switch back. Yeah, I had to combine these sets of slides. I figured that, but I was like, I didn't know how I was going to do it. Anyways. Remember, as many 5s as you want can come off of this 4. What's that? What's the start at as a point? Oh, here's so it was a triangle. Zoom out. It's a point, right? Chill out. A point. Any 1 becoming 5, right? All of them are going to move up away from 4. The furthest they can go is 7. The furthest they can go is 7. All right? What are they moving towards? 9. Why is 7 the furthest you can go? Because of 8. Because of 8. 8 will dissolve. Because why? On the other side of 8, 9 is immutable. 9 is immutable. To the degree to which you're already part of 9, most of what came along with going from 1 to 7 has to be shed. And 8 is what does it. 8 is what makes the difference, okay? Like I said, 9 is immutable, 8 is mutable. 7 is the closest you get, all right? Within going from one side of the cube to the next, 7 is the closest you get. Which ultimately leads you to 10. 10, 11, and 12, honestly, which is Malkuth. But here's where we get into the diagrams I like to use, okay? This is the diagram I would rather use for chakras. I don't want to transpose it over the physical body. I showed you on the fucking whiteboard. I mean, we can go there, but you don't need to go there to understand chakras. And as I say this, I'm thinking of a third lecture about this I want to do, but don't get ahead of yourself. Okay. Like I said before, the sevenfold pattern are seals. It holds the thing together. Okay? The harmony of 9 and 8. Alright, that's what I'm looking at. And this is why I had to show you from both fucking sides. Because I'm talking about harmony, which is invoking this dynamic at 6. But 9 and 8 don't move. There's a harmony there. But they don't move like that. They're immovable. They're mutable, but they're immovable. Okay? So I use them as the basis. I use them as the foundation to the idea of the sevenfold pattern. Because what is the sevenfold pattern tracking? It's sealing together that harmony. Okay? It's sealing together that harmony. Alright. This is what I want to do now. I feel like I'm back in high school. Y'all stop playing in the back. I can't focus. But stop. Get your pen and paper out. And don't pass that note. Shit, I don't know. I'm thinking about if I was a high school teacher, bro, I'd get in trouble, bro. Chill out. You can't have me out here like this. Said a lie. I got that damn ADHD. I gotta watch this shit a couple times. Yo, ADHD. I have another thing I need to do about the fucking psychiatric field. But anyways, I gotta do this first. Anyways, my ultimately distracted ass. Here we go. All right, I want to show you the other side. I want to show you the other video. Finish giving you a little bit more about 4. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. In terms of polarity or the fourfold pattern, the emphasis here
is that you are dealing with 4 units in a unity, as opposed to 2 units as in a duality, like I discussed before. I say this because quite often the word polarity is misused as duality. And as I said before, although they do have similarities, the differences between them are both striking and clear once you get a hold of the details. Now, going back to those 7 Hermetic principles, we'll take a look at the 4th of these principles. Where duality was being expressed within the law of correspondence, which is the 2nd principle, the law of polarity, which is the 4th, is quite plain. Keep in mind that were it not for correspondence or duality, which is 2, there could be no polarity, which is 4. Said differently, in the case of duality and polarity, the former gives rise to the latter. Continuing, as I have said, with the example using the 4 elements, the latter 2, earth and air, are born of the dynamics between the initial 2, fire and water. From the relationship with fire and water, all that is created and viable is contained or expressed as air, the 3rd element. While at the same time, not only the discarded residue of those differing dynamics, but the stage for the entire engagement make up earth, the 4th element. Similar to duality, polarity can be defined as the quality or state of having 4 different or opposite parts or elements. Aside from the 4 elements, which for the most part I would rather save an in-depth explanation for when I do my segment on the zodiac, there remains another pertinent example that I can rely on. That example is the concept of a tetrapolar magnet. When most would imagine a magnet, notably, there is known to be a north and a south pole of the magnet. Even if you cut that magnet in half, those halves will now possess a north and south of their own. This is quite commonly known. To examine further, however, the effect of this north and south pole on the magnet is the magnetic field that surrounds and is created by the magnet itself. This is a result of electron configurations, and in magnetic materials, there is an upspin and a downspin to these electrons. I'll avoid the chemistry class for now, but I'll leave you with this here. The dynamics in the elements
I had the wrong little screen up on there, bitch. Damn. Fuck me, right? Look like a dumbass. It's cool. Huh? Who the fuck what's that? Bro, ain't no ADHD. It's a diagnosis for a prescription, bro. Ain't no ADHD. On a serious note, I've never heard chakras from this perspective. It definitely is putting it into context. The language of the universe is math. I don't know about that. I'd like to debate that. I don't like the idea the universe is math. The language of the universe is math. Because that's going back into the measurement. Bruh, this ain't math. This ain't math. This ain't math. Math is using the numbers. I'm using the numbers. The numbers are a symbol for the quantities. I'm talking about the quantities and their qualities. This is not math. I'm using geometry to represent what I'm talking about because geometry is intuitive. Just like if I was using color to represent what I was talking about. It's not saying that the subject of the conversation is color. No. This isn't mathematics. I'm telling you, this isn't mathematics. We're talking about the fundamentals of what you're using in mathematics. Okay? So it's not mathematics. Don't even get there. I'm telling you, it's going to confuse you. It's not mathematics. Okay? CJ, good to see you in the chat, man. Like I said, sooner or later I'm gonna learn this shit verbatim. Definitely feel like I'm in back of science class. You, to learn it verbatim, bruh, I don't even think it's necessary. Real shit. I don't even. As much as I'd like to toot my own horn, you know, have all the bitches come over and look and say, hey, that's Aries. You know? It's not even necessary. What you want to do is just challenge your understanding of the words I'm saying to the degree to which you think you know them. You don't have to be able to repeat what I'm saying verbatim. You need to understand the principles. You need to understand the concepts. That's the big thing. See, when I'm talking about the sevenfold pattern, these are principles or concepts that are that are encapsulated in this. It's not math. I'm so serious. It's not math. Basketball ass nigga, loving basketball. I lie. You look like you'd have been in love in basketball, bro. Like you auditioned to be in that shit. You gotta catch up later. Now we're actually about to get into chakras, okay? Now we're actually, because since I've talked to you about the sevenfold pattern, now we can actually get to chakras. I had to go through 4 through 6 and even talk to you about 9 and 8 so we could focus on 7, okay? Ain't nothing spiritual about the physical or mental chakras. I'm about to learn how to speak Mexican. Wish me luck. Let's stop. I don't know what you... Ain't no physical chakras, and I'm not sure what you mean by a mental chakra. See, there are some people who will equate this to the subtle bodies, for example. I'm not a big fan of the idea of subtle bodies. Because it builds everything off of the meat bag. And I keep saying, this is the appearance of a thing. You can't use it to base your fundamentals. It's a distraction. It's a good one, and I'm not saying it has no utility. It has plenty of utility, even in the work itself. But you can't base it off of this. You can't base it off of. That's why I don't like the idea of the subtle bodies. But if anyone would ever debate about it, who knows, right? Whatever. Niggas know how to speak Mexican. You mean Spanish? Nah, they can be Mexican. He tripping. All right. The video wasn't showing up because I'm a piece of shit. But just to throw this point home before I jump over here, the tetrapolar magnet. When we're talking about polarity, it's 4. There are 4 units in the unity. When we're talking about duality, there are 2 units in the unity. Okay? A good example of a polar relationship is the elements, or north, south, east, and west, okay? That's a polar relationship, a tetrapolar magnet, okay? And that's the 4-pole pattern. I don't feel like playing the video again because I was fucking up already. I want to get into this shit. Alright. Now we're about to get into the more exclusive shit. This is the shit I have the least amount of experience articulating in the form of a lecture. So, we gonna see how this work out. We gonna fuck around and find out. That's you. Hey man, embrace your inner Brandon, bro. Embrace your inner fucking Brandon. No, that's not the image I wanted. Okay, yeah. So I've shown you this. Let me just maximize and I'll shuffle through that way. I've shown you this, okay? I've told you what we're talking about. We're talking about a map of reality at large. That's you, yeah, okay. I show you how it meshes, with other maps of reality at large. So this isn't something you haven't seen before. I want to emphasize that. This is not something you've never seen before. This is something you're seeing in a different way. Why? Because the way you were looking at it is what your issue was. And you need to look at it differently. These old systems were not set up for you. When niggas was coming up with chakra and kundalini, What was that in context to? The rest of their culture and religion. You can't just pull that out and say, well, this is what these other people must have been talking about. Like, you don't even understand the context of it from the place you got it. Like, okay, once again, they're saying something about a 7. We're saying something about a 7. Okay, fine. It's 7. It's not the things that are representing it. It's the quantity itself. It's the quantity itself. Because each quantity has qualities. 1-fold, 2-fold, 3-fold, 4-fold, 5-fold, 6-fold, 7. Each quantity has qualities that are based on the inherent dynamics, the inherited, dynamics from what came before, and its own unique dynamics built on top of that. Okay? Everything that comes after 1 exists in a unity. Why? Because they all inherit that from 1. Who doesn't inherit anything from 1? 0. The only one that doesn't do that. Anyways, each of them build off the last. We've talked about that ad nauseum, at length, my nigga. Okay, so I wanna get into the chakras themselves and the idea of what we're talking about, what we're looking at, and how these diagrams work. Why is this old? Okay, I know where I'm going now. Okay. I'm in the wrong folder. That's what it is. I'm like, I know I just saw that. Yeah, I'm in the wrong folder. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Alright. So this is what I've been showing you. The branded image kills me. Hey man, look, it's gonna hurt a little bit. When you see yourself reflected like that, it's gonna hurt a little bit. I get it. I get it. I get it. You see me getting triggered seeing myself in y'all niggas. Hell yeah, it's gonna hurt a little. Welcome to the club. We suffered. Then Brandon swear I am Malkuth. What you mean swear I am Malkuth? Hey man, niggas. Anyways, I was about to rant. Bow, almost got me. All right, this is the image I showed you before. Let me lock this so it's not distracting me. This is the image I showed you before. Okay, it's seven focal points resting on top of the harmony between 9 and 8. Every time I see Brandon, I see myself. Good. Please, society ejects. That's where you want to go. You, Brandon, until you get it. And it's okay not to get it before you get it. Anyways, the harmony of 9 and 8. What is thing called, man? A square and a circle or a cube and a sphere nest together at a ratio of 9 to 8. What does that mean? That means if one of the sides of the square or the cube is measured in inches and you have it at 8 inches, then the diameter of the correlating circle or sphere will be 9 inches. Okay, where is the... here we go. Okay. Because that square and that circle are the shadow of this cube and sphere. Okay. So I'm representing in 2 dimensions. Well, what we could essentially say happens in a larger, more expansive perception. Okay. Remember that ratio of 9 to 8. I use this image when I talk to you about reality at large. With the primordial. Here, let me maximize this a little. So I'm gonna go over this real quick, just to damn it, it's fucking tiny. Anyways, I wish I had a better image of this, but I have to make it. But it's a godsend to fucking have this anyways. Okay, so when we're talking about the primordial, the metaverse, all right, it's the empty space and the 3 axes, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. It's the empty space itself and the X, Y, and Z axis, okay? When we're talking about time space, or the spiritual, or the non-physical realm, we're talking about the sphere. Okay, and then when we're talking about space-time or the physical realm, we're talking about the cube. Okay. Now I can pick out a point that's inside the cube, the sphere, and the empty space. Okay? When I tell you you're in all three densities at once, it's not because you have to go somewhere. You're already there, you're already the thing. It's about how you're framing your reality. What is you? What you're agreeing things are. This place is perfect. The world is perfect. It's you that's fucked up. But that can be fixed. Once again, you're supreme, you're the highest of the high, right? You can fix that. I get it. I shouldn't have closed that. I still want to use it. I still want to use that image. I shouldn't have closed that. Let me pull it back up. Okay. Keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Keep this in mind. Real quick before I get into the next part of this. The red dots are the seals. Okay, these are the 7 seals that are sealing the harmony of 9 and 8. Okay. At the bottom, you don't start out on the sphere. We're starting out on the cube, on the most dense part, on the physical world part. Okay, that's why we start on the cube and not the sphere. You start at the densest part. Okay, which is the edge of the cube. Okay, just like 4 rising up, right? Just like 4 rising up. That's what we're doing here. Remember, we're looking at this 2-dimensionally, but you can intuit it 3-dimensionally. It's not to say it is 3-dimensional. This is a representation. Anyways, stop being a dick. It's not like I really can. Anyways. You start on the cube, okay? You start on the square. We're talking about the physical, the most dense, okay? The root. Like that, right? The root. I'm a piece of shit. Look, okay, you start on the cube. The highest point of that movement is going to be on the sphere itself. All right? The sphere, because the non-physical gives rise to the physical. Time-space gives rise to space-time. And so that's going to be the beginning and the end of this particular process, okay? But this is once again, this is one way to look at this diagram. Let me find the other way I want you to look at it. No, that's not this folder. I actually worked on having a bit of a folder that makes some sense, okay? Well, I'm about to get you here. Where is the tetrahedron? There we go. All right. We all know the tetrahedron, right? We all know the tetrahedron. And once again, see, this is part of the reason I'm thinking it's going to be a 2-day lecture is because okay, no, this is what I'll do for that. I'll save that for the Tree of Life lecture, but I will allude to it today, okay? Because in Kabbalah you have the 4 worlds, which gives you essentially 4 clip-offs, linking up at Malkuth. Okay, I actually have the picture of that. That's what that was. That's this picture. You got the 4 different trees of life, the 4 different paths coming down, linking up at the bottom, linked up at the top. Linking up at the bottom, linked up at the top. Okay? And what are we looking at here? Tetrahedron. Linked up at the bottom, linked up at the top, with the 4 sides connecting the up and down, right? Top and the bottom. But how does this apply to chakras? All right, talk to you, boy. Here, this is what you're looking at when you're looking at the 7-fold pattern. Okay, even when you're looking at the diagram that I'm showing you. What shit do I have open? I'll close that for right now. Even when I'm showing you this one, remember, This is a two-dimensional representation. This is the shadow of the cube and the sphere. Okay? If this top one is on the surface of the sphere and not the cube, all right? Think of a tetrahedron. This point, dimensional. Remember, this is a two-dimensional representation. If this circle is a sphere, intuit the sphere there, okay? This point touches the surface of the sphere. This point touches the surface of the cube. This is the mechanism by which you're sealing the two together, okay? Bottom face of the cube, surface of the sphere, okay? Bottom face of the cube, surface of the sphere. It can all be so simple, bro. I'm so serious. All right. Here's your tetrahedron. All right. All 4 points meet at the bottom. Your Malkuths. Okay. Let me continue. Because I want to give you different ways to look at what you've seen before. Because it's not something new. It's not something new. As much as I like to be the niggas gonna get all the clout for doing the hot new thing and the bitches gonna see me. No, sir. No, it ain't the thing. Okay, so where's the better image? Because this is the base image. This is the base diagram I like to use. It's the least complicated of these ideas, but I'm gonna have to make the ideas just a little bit more complicated for you. I'm sorry, I ain't been looking at the chat at all. There's your 4 worlds. There's that. I'm fine. There we go. There we go. There we go. No. Oh, okay. Smooth. Boom. This is the diagram I'm going to be working with you on today. This is the diagram I think is better to talk to you about chakras. Just like I gave you a diagram I think is better to talk about the zodiac. All right, we're taking it out of the fucking stars because it wasn't about the stars. It's about the fucking circle was the point. The circle was always the point. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I can't even get to the chat because I'm too busy being fucking triggered. The circle was always the point. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? The circle was always the fucking point. It's never been about anything else. It's never been about anything else. What is it? Three modes, 4 positions. 3 modes, 4 positions. 3 modes, 4 positions. What are the modes? What else over here? 4 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 positions. You see it? What are the 3 modes? Yod, away from center. The A is return to center. The V, or it's W sometimes. It's either V or W. I don't speak Hebrew. Anyways, the third modality, the third mode, move away from center but down. Okay, move up from center, move down from center. Both of these are the same thing. Return to center. 3 modes, 4 positions. 3 modes. 4 positions. This is the sine wave. This is the graph of a circle. This is a graph of a circle. It's always been about the circle. It's always been about the circle. The zodiac. It's always been about the fucking circle. This is where I gotta go next. Here, let me put this back up. I'll leave that here. Let me get back to the chat real quick, because I don't want y'all niggas to feel like I don't give a fuck. There we go. I'll lie. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get it at the moment. I'm accepting that it's my fault, and I have to allow myself to get it. Yeah, man, challenge it. Challenge, not just, once again, not just a place where you feel better about it, but actually hit it 1-to-1. Like, okay, what parts do I get, and why do I say I get it? Okay. Then try and see if you can fuck that up. like earnestly. Okay, this is what I think I understand. Let me see if I can fuck this up. Okay, this is what I understand. I can't fuck it up. Let me try and build something else with it. Let me put something else on here. What parts do I not understand that I know I don't understand? Boom, let me go ahead and look those up immediately. Okay? And you start to put those together, you start to trip over the things where you're assuming you understand, even if it's slightly, and you're like, oh shit, let me get that too. I'm telling you, actually have to examine your understanding. Because a lot of motherfuckers, they're only used to telling themselves they understand something when they feel like they understand it. And that ain't the work, but I'm gonna tell you right now. But anyways, but yeah, you want to dig into to being able to recognize what you understand and what you don't understand, and then learning to kind of lean in to, okay, this is what I don't understand. Let me look into it. This is what I do understand. How can I destroy it? Because if you can't destroy it, then okay, it's got some integrity to it. ZJ, why is a cube more dense? That's a good Kabbalah diagram. Why is a cube more dense? Let's go back to the 3 and 4. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the relationship between 3 and 4, where 3 is giving rise to 4. So 3, when we're talking about the square, once again, we're representing something with geometry. Okay, the square is going to contain all the triangles. 3 contains all 4s, just the way 6 contains all 5s. When we were talking about the rise here. All right, no matter how many 5s come off of this 4, the atmosphere they're going to enter is going to be 6. So 6 contains all 4s. Okay, 6 contains all 5s. Excuse me. The same way that 4 contains all 3s. Okay. So when we're talking about the square, the cube being the more dense aspect, we're in the representation. Okay. Yeah, it's mostly about the representation, to be completely honest, the symbols. Part of me says you're asking something else. Tastes like it, but I don't know. If you ask, if I didn't quite answer your question, or there's more to what you were inquiring about, ZJ, please feel free to ask, bro. I feel like that's there. I don't know what that is. I would wear this chakra diagram. You wear it and you start making merch, right? Wow, look. As soon as I make shirts for niggas with this, they gonna be on the street corner telling niggas they made it and that they understand it. It's gonna be in their Instagram stories immediately. And then look, they're gonna take my picture, put it in their Instagram stories, and then say, here's what it is. If you know, you know. Nah. You gonna have to dig in. You gonna have to dig in the fucking shit to come get this one, bro. Get out of here, man. This thing's crazy. Nah, but I have to think about that though. If you want to bastardize it and rape it and fuck it, you're completely fine too. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, I may just put it on a shirt for real, just because you said that. You're raw as a bitch, man. Let me get that off yours. Hey, man, I got it right here. Look, Ethan. Look, it's gonna be me versus Ethan. Ethan, I'm gonna do some AI shit with it too. We're gonna battle for designs. Okay, no, I'm tripping. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Let me get to this lecture. I appreciate y'all's presence, though, most certainly. Okay. What are you looking at? What I'm using here, line position, line thickness, line color. These are aspects of dimensionality. I'm taking something that is multi-dimensional and expressing it in 2 dimensions. So it can get complicated. It can be a little off-putting, I guess you could say, but I'm going to break down what you're looking at first. First and foremost, okay, you want to pull out the circle and the square, okay? That's what we've been talking about this whole time. Let me get out here. Where's the other image? Pull it up. No, I didn't have it. I know I had it up. God damn it. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going into next. Oh yeah, y'all niggas ain't even ready, bro. I'm telling you, y'all niggas ain't ready. There we go. Alright. First thing I want you to pull out. Maybe I can put these side by side. That's what I'll do. Let me see if that makes a difference. We'll put them side by side. You come here, and you get up there, okay? First and foremost, pull out the circle and the square, okay? Just like we have it here on the right with the circle and square, it's the same thing over here. I just put a little more detail on it, all right? Because the place where the circle and square meet has context within itself in terms of how you're looking at the diagram, okay? So mostly when you see these 4 squares here on the corner, this is talking about basically these points right here, okay? One way of looking at it is about talking about the foundations of the 4 elements, and that'll make more sense. These colors here will make more sense when we get to the heart chakra, okay? And I'm not just putting colors anywhere for no reason, like, hey, this is gonna look nice on a shirt, like. But thank you, Eli. The colors are intentional, okay? This is your 7-fold pattern. I want you to see the 5 it sits on, okay? And that's part of the reason I like this part, is because I'm emphasizing the 4, but there's the 1 as well with the circle, okay? So it's sitting on a 5. Hey, Aries, why is it sitting on a 5 important? Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. What great students. You actually asked. Oh my God, what great students. I'm so proud. Piece of shit, man. Yo, where's the image? I just saw it on the thing. Oh, here it is. Fuck you talking about. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Anu. As in Anunnaki. This is your Anu. This is the Anu. This ain't about aliens, guys. This is the Anu. It is a 7-fold pattern wrapped in a 5-fold pattern. Here, let me give you a different image, okay? That'll be a little easier to look at. Oh, you like that? I had to make sure I give it to you with the physical body. You like that, don't you? 7-fold pattern wrapped in a 5-fold pattern. Okay? Here, let me get you again, because there's a negative and a positive. Because we talk about the Taurus and the Tesseract in boot camp. There's your Taurus, guys. There's your Taurus. You talking Anu? Fuck you mean? Niggas are dumb. What you have are 2 different things, okay? And remember, a torus is a fourth dimensional sphere. It's an infinite number of spheres, the same way that a sphere is an infinite number of circles. A sphere is an infinite number of circles, or torus is an infinite number of spheres. Okay? And also keep this in mind, you have 3 different currents running right here, okay? You have the torus, which is giving you this donut shape. You have the hyperboloid, which is the hyperbola, okay? The other geometric shape. So that's the space that's on the inside. And then you have the path that's being traced along the surface of the torus. Here we go. The path that's being traced along the surface of the torus. Okay, if you looked at the lecture on the zodiac, there's a lot of dynamic that goes into just the torus itself. That's not even speaking about the movement across its surface or the hyperboloid in the center, okay? So, when I'm talking about the 7-fold pattern, the Anu, from Anunnaki, Anu, Most High, Naki, children of. Anunnaki, it's not aliens. It was never aliens, bruh. It was never aliens. And you're like, damn, I didn't know this was connected to the chakras. But it's not really necessarily connected to chakras. It's connected to the sevenfold pattern. That's the thing. That's hard. Finally seeing the I knew other than some spooky alien shit. Yes. Yes. It is all about, well, the me. Look, that's part of the navigating the territory. That's part of the work. See, right now I'm talking about the theory, the fundamentals, the idea, what we're actually talking about before we talk about how to use it. Now we're talking about that me, that's more in the realm of how to use it. But we're gonna get into it. You already know. Especially if you boot camp or consultations, bro. I knew. Sevenfold pattern wrapped in a fivefold pattern, creating a toroidal field. And this is not to say this is your physical body. Remember, we started there. Look, I took the physical body out of the torus. It's the same thing. The thing is still there. It's the pattern. It's the dynamic that's the important. The sevenfold pattern on the inside, fivefold on the outside. You know, DNA. Well, really, they had the caduceus, so they knew it was DNA. No. Chill out, bruh. Chill out. Spirals a double helix can exist without DNA. Anyways, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the sevenfold pattern. It is nested with a fivefold pattern, and that nesting is called the Anu. Look at this. I took away the drawing of the torus, and you got just the tracing of the surface. See, now I got images. I didn't have images before like I wanted to. Now I got images. You're tracing the surface of the torus. And in tracing the surface of the torus, you're also tracing the surface of the hyperboloid in the middle. There's it going up. When we're talking Anu, this is what we're talking about. Not aliens. What do you mean how you find this? I looked. That's what I'm saying. Niggas who tell you do the research, don't do the research. Their research is repeating. Fuck you mean? Who else telling you this? No one, because they ain't doing the research. They just repeat Anunnaki. That is the Anu. They gonna play me like they fucking know. And see, when I show you this, all of this is the root chakra from the inside. See, from the inside, you think getting to the outside of the root chakra is really the crown chakra. You niggas treat the outside of the root chakra like it's the crown because you think all this stuff is part of reality. You missed it. But it's okay. We're gonna get you there. So when you're talking root chakra, you're talking about right here, okay? If we were doing the 4, 5, and 6, remember with the arrow coming up, you still at the point. You ain't even really begun the rising, okay? Remember, we're talking about the Kundalini out of the physical realm. Your body don't leave the physical realm. Avatar in the game don't leave the game. It ain't supposed to. And if you think you leaving the physical world is that, you missed it. It's in your fundamentals of your metaphysics, and that's why I talk about that. Okay, but look. Universal content. Good to see you in the chat, man. G-Day from Australia, motherfuckers. What time is it there? It's 1:30 a.m. Tuesday morning. What time is it here? It's 11:30, ain't it? Yeah, show starts at 9 a.m. It's 11:30. We've been here for a little while. Good to see you in the chat. He's an Aussie. Do you have the Aussie accent? That's not a knife. That's a knife. I'm sorry, man. Were you disappointed in the Barbie movie? There was no barbecue. Australians are like, what do you mean the Barbie? We're going to see Barbie. Where's the meat? I'm sorry. I don't know much about Australians. Good to see you in the chat, bro. Eli, before you end the live, can you show a graph of multiverse, hyperverse, and metaverse connected? What do you mean? I've done that like multiple times. The image with the first 90-degree angle with the purple, the blue, and the red. That's that. The image, it's this too. That's that as well. Because remember, the empty space, the primordial, the circle, the non-physical, the square, the physical. I did it right there too. I did it with the graph of the sphere and the cube. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing that. I've showed the graphs on different dimensions from different angles. I mean, I taste you're asking me something. I'm not trying to chit on you, but I mean that's literally what I've been doing. I can try and find and see one if I haven't showed. I don't think there's one, but anyways, let me continue here. Okay, so we can see it right here. We see the cells. We're going to start on the square. All right, that's the root. Now, I know I have a better picture that zooms in. There it is. There's the better picture that zooms in. Okay. Remember, we don't start on the surface of the circle. We start on the surface of the cube, okay? The root chakra here, the way I drew it, you have the center part of it with the red outside, okay? The center is black like the lines, okay? Meaning it's part of the mechanism that's underlying this process, okay? It's part of the mechanism. So it's like when we're talking about, let's say, different manifestations, different physical. We'll say it like this. Because that's a better way to say it. Thank you. Where's the other image I had it at? We'll think about it like this. And this is why the images are so necessary. Especially because there's no language for this shit yet. Here we go. Okay. Remember, we're coming off of the edge of the cube, the edge of the square. Okay. This point is of this plane. Okay. So that's basically what we're talking about when we're showing this center being here. Okay. The narrative is still this plane. Okay. And that's part of what I was talking about when I'm talking about the root, the sacral, and the solar. Most of that is the narrative of the personality, the body and the personality, okay? So that's why the center of it is this blackness here, only because the blackness comes from the line that is the square and the circle, okay? It's coming from that line. So there's no what's the word I want to say? What's the fucking word I want to say? Okay, here's how I'll say it. In terms of this perspective, the essence of it is God damn it, I missed it again. Is the square, okay? It is the square. Basically is what I'm saying here. Now we're making the distinction with the color just to track the progress, okay? So here's a way to intuit it. If we want to think about this in terms of your life, because I also made this map to help navigate the territory. Like that's something that was in my mind as I'm thinking about these other maps, which don't tell you how to navigate the territory. Okay, so I'm going for that, but once again, we'll see. What does it say in the chat? Fuck yeah, bro. Alaya, I'm seeing you got different depictions. I'm just wondering if you had another one. What would be considered the hyperverse on the chakra map? The sacral of the solar? No. Bruh, it's the circle. The hyperverse, the non-physical time space. It's the circle. Remember, the empty space is primordial and the square is physical. Okay? That's what I was about to say. Like we're gonna run this in telling you the narrative of going from one side of the cube to the other, just like I would do, like the zodiac is the narrative of fire. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the story as if your perspective. Okay, but once again, it's to help you intuit the process. Okay. I'm gonna come up with more and more diagrams to say the same thing. I guarantee you I will. But yeah, like I said, I've shown them. I've shown them. Sorry, I'm driving. I'm only getting so much. Well, you're gonna have to go back, nigga. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, all right. These first three are deeply and intimately connected. One way I like to look at this is in terms of each other here. This trinity, it's like I like to think of it as a riverbed. You got the mud at the bottom, the water moving on the top, and the air above where the water's at. And so you have three densities of the same thing, okay? Like I was telling you before, you're thinking the physical body, all right, that's all of Malkuth is physical stuff. The body don't leave that, okay? What you're engaging in here are densities of your emotions and thoughts. All right, the go within isn't to go within cells or anything in Malkuth. Let that shit go. Leave it behind. Give back 10%. Malkuth is 10% of the tree of life, which has 10 Sephiroth. You give back 10%. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and the rest is yours. And so when you stop defining yourself simply as that, simply as the body, what you get, the first thing you're going to get is the emotions and the thoughts, okay? Even when you motherfuckers sit down and do what you call meditation, it's the first thing that bothers you, all right? That's how it's supposed to be, okay? Anyway. Okay, so we got the muddy bottom, the flowing water, and the space above, okay? The root chakra, it's the first one. It's stable. It's centered. It's like your body doesn't constantly dissolve, okay? It sustains and centers itself. You know, you cut yourself, you're not heal. You forget about the shit that does it itself. Okay, it's congressional as opposed to progressional. It's congressional. Okay, it comes together. It keeps it together. It's singular. It's stable. Okay, that's the first position. The second position is necessarily oppositional to that. So whereas the root is going to be very stable, the idea of what you are, more especially if you're tracking the physical body, is pretty consistent. Which is why you don't not believe your own past. It's pretty consistent. You don't not presume or assume or predict your own future in terms of the body. It's consistent. Okay, that's the thing. Emotion, when you get into the sacral, emotion is not like that. In fact, this is the interesting thing about the sacral chakra, is that, and this is why I didn't draw a circle, an orange circle around the center part, is because when you're in it, you don't see it. And so it's not just orange, it's black and orange. It's only orange looking down, all right? Because if you're coming from red, unless you already have yellow, there isn't orange. If what you have is red, unless you already have yellow, there's no orange. When you're in emotion, it's black. You don't know what's going on. You're caught up in it. It's only once you can rise above it and look back down at it that what was once red looks orange. Why? Because where are you standing? Yellow. Okay? So the orange isn't an inherent property of the sacral. It's an effect of your perspective looking back down. Okay? It's an effect of the perspective looking back down. And mind you, this is still personality level stuff. Okay? This is still very much personality level stuff, but you have to get through it, otherwise you can't move forward. Okay, so you know all you talk about the shadow work and integrating it. Yeah, I'm gonna give plenty of credits to that, but don't treat those things like objective realities or singular instances. The shadow, just like the self, is not a singular thing. Okay, okay. So this is your sacral. So once again, like when you're first in it, or when you're first coming through, going towards yellow, or when you're in that emotion, ain't no orange, bro. It's black. You don't see none of that shit. You're in it. All right. You usually think of bad emotions when we think about that, but think of your good emotions, okay? The ones you like to feel. It's the same thing. When you're caught up in your capping, you're feeling good. Hey, man, I'm pretty. I'm about to hit the mall and walk around the food court. You're in it. You're in it, okay? And another reason it's gonna be orange, because like I said, emotion and thought are very difficult to disengage them. You know, the water has air in it. The air has water in it. All right. They even move very similarly. What I like to say is that in terms of the four elements, air is fire's response to battling water. Earth is water's response to battling fire. Okay. Fire starts out as very singular, very centered, and water's moving. So I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck do I deal with this? Air. Boom. Water's like, damn, I'm fighting fire. As much as I fucking push right here, it stays right there. How do I do this? Let me incorporate something that don't move like that. Boom, contains it. All right. So I mean, it's a dynamic. It's a natural relationship. Okay. But keep this in mind. Most of this is physical body and personality stuff. Okay. These are densities of psyche. Densities of psyche. Okay. First you have a psyche, which is going to be the personal conception. Then you have the psyche, which is getting back into self as that Adam Kadmon. Okay, here, let me show you another Adam Kadmon picture. Let me show you another Adam Kadmon picture. Look at Aries tucking on the side of his neck. Fuck you niggas. So let me show you another Adam Kadmon. Because I showed you this one. I showed you the nice color picture. Here's a non-color, same picture. This is the one I want to show you. Y'all motherfuckers love to confuse the Great Mother with Mother Nature. As in Gaia from the planet. Nah, that bitch is a stepmama. And the Great Mother's a deadbeat mama. Okay? Get off of it. Relax. You'll be alright. Alright, this is the Adam Kadmon. Notice where its head is. This is what people who are teaching the Tree of Life call the hidden Sephiroth, the Da'ath. The Da'ath is the lowest point on the Qalipoth. Not the lowest Sephiroth, the lowest point. Look, here's the lowest Sephiroth, here's the highest point on that Sephiroth, and the lowest point on that Sephiroth. The Da'ath is the lowest point on that Sephiroth. And so if we're talking about the shadow or the laid down fallen version of the Adam Kadmon, this is the nigga laying down. The standing up, like see how he's standing on that? That's what it would look like when you're including the Qalipoth, okay? But with the Tree of Life, they don't include the Qalipoth. They contain all that stuff in this part, okay? Anyway, so because like I said, if you see the Tree of Life and there's no Da'ath, it's the Tree of Life. If that circle is filled in, it's not the Tree of Life you're looking at. It's the Qalipoth, okay? Anyways, the Adam Kadmon. This is the point of the work. This is the point of the work. Osiris is Horus. The Father is the Sun. The Father falls, the Sun rises. Be about your Father's work. Put the pieces of the crumbled kingdom back together. But if you're playing human, you're not even going to be in the narrative, bro. You're not even going to be close. Society ejects. It's crazy how so many people relate the chakras to sexual energy and the color orange. Because all they want to relate it to is humanity. That's what I'm saying. They break the chakras down into just simply human shit. And I'm telling you, brother, the furthest that's gonna go is this. But because look, the glass ceiling is they've reduced all of it to the human body and humanity. And so they can't see past their own glass ceiling. Okay? So they can tell you a lot of distinctions about these categories called the chakras. But if you even start to look into the actual place where motherfuckers get this shit, let me pull it up. Let me fucking pull it up. And stop telling you like you just gonna know, right? Here we go. Because it gets into the whole discussion about fucking prana, right? Fucking prana. You talking about this is shit in the body, and it's the thing that you're really dealing with, because you're dealing with the prana and the chi of your kundalini, and that's in the quantum physics particles. I hate you niggas. I hate you niggas so much. What shit I was looking at yesterday? No, I gotta get through all this other research. No. That was when I was having a music conversation. My son, what a ting them on? That's the octave, the harmonic series. I didn't even get into the harmonic series. Because you got the 12 notes, and then the 7 that form the scales, and then the modes of the scales, which I was talking with Kelvin about yesterday. Like, what I'm saying, bro, you can do this shit with color, geometry, or music. Fuck you mean? I think music could probably be even a better one because of how intimately it already integrates time. Where's the fucking shit I was looking at yesterday? I'm gonna talk about that shit though. I'm not even lying. Walter Russell's book. No, that's not it. That's not it. It's the Arc Tree of Life. Because I had to get that one. Here we go. Here we go. I think this is what I was looking for. Yeah, that's your boy Sadhguru. Niggas love Sadhguru, don't you? Alright, here, let's holler at your boy Sadhguru and then see what they thinking about. Nah, I'm actually straight. Well, real shit, if you just got up, you gonna make some coffee, yep. Hit me up, because that's just cold. Thank you, love. Alright, cool. See, this your boy now. Alright, there go your boy Sadhguru. Boy, I got more on Oprah and shit, huh? Oprah, whatever. Anyway, what are these niggas talking about, okay? What are they saying the 7 chakras are? I might need to zoom in so the nigga can look. Cause bro, this shit it's not some deep secret mystery. Niggas are telling you, but motherfuckers ain't got reading comprehension. Fuck you mean? 114 junctions or confluences of nadis. Right off the bat, we're talking 114. Like I said, the 7 that you're talking about are categories. They're categories. Look. It says 2 are outside the physical body. Of the remaining 112, only 108 are actually worked upon. See, this is once again, this is taking it all the way down to making it a physical body. Okay? The 7 are categories. And all these different junctions that they mapped out in their systems, in their pantheons, in their rites. For those people then, this is how they mapped it out. Fuck out of here, man. This shit, they're categories, okay? But I pulled this up because of the nadis. That's the thing we want to look at. What the fuck are the nadis? Where the fuck did it go? I'm trying to look through my history and this shit keeps trying to fuck with me. Is this where I saw it? Nah. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. The nadis. Because we're talking about prana, right? Okay. You got the 5 nadis, or vital energies, okay? Once again, I'm going back to their shit. Because look, I'm not the nigga, I'm not trying to teach you the Vedic stuff. Because like I said, I think that it was made for those people then. So I'm not trying to get you to readopt Egyptian shit. Because it was made for them then. What you need to do is reimagine it for yourself now. But you have to know what they were talking about. You have to understand the fundamentals, the basic qualities of quantities, which is what I'm talking about, not math. Not math. So you got the five nadis, you got the five outer energies, right? Prana being in the center, coming from the heart area. Okay. Once again, this is a map. Every time you see the physical body like this, think Adam Kadmon. All right. See, what you guys are in is the exoteric stuff from the right. Remember, they teach you the exoteric so that you spend most of your life in that, so you know it backwards and forwards. Then when you're ready to actually be initiated into the esoteric, I barely have to tell you anything. Because you have all the foundation, you have all the fundamentals. I just need to shift the way you look at it. That's it. But you niggas are caught in the exoteric teachings. Don't know metaphysics and trying to make matter the biggest deal in the fucking world. God, somebody shoot me. I'm a piece of shit. Anyways, look. That comes from the five vital centers. What did we talk about? 5 and 7. What did we talk about? 5 and 7. This is what I'm saying. Motherfuckers don't know what they're looking at. They're saying what other people have said, and if they repeat it and then someone else repeats it, and they say check, fire, and facts because they heard someone else say it, so oh, this is confirmation, but that nigga was repeating him. And you want to laugh at Christians for being caught up in the exoteric aspects of Christianity. You don't know the esoteric, you just assume there's none because you're telling me, oh, it was a lie and they're trying to do this and that to me. No. You got to learn how to think. You got to actually do research. What are they talking about? What's the premises of thinking? When they came up with this shit, there was no matter as an ontological category. Now you can't describe your world without it. So instead of penguins, lions, seals, birds, I gotta use matter. Because y'all niggas won't let it go and you can't frame your world without it. Thank you, lovely. Just like a nigga 5,000 years ago who herded goats out in Africa would not have been able to conceive reality without seeing the things around him in how you framed it. And now all niggas see is matter. When you look around, all you see is matter. Not because of what these are picking up, because of how you frame reality. Because of your metaphysical presuppositions. Period. That is your issue. And going to an old right and pulling out the exoteric aspect of it to tell yourself you got it is wrong. And then reducing the exoteric shit to fucking symmetries of space-time. It's wrong. It's wrong. God. Ugh. Don't talk about Big Mama like that. Fuck that bitch. Hopefully she called me for taking up for her. I miss her. She gonna give you some poison titty milk. Cause you should have been off that shit years ago. She ain't gonna look like the villain. Be like, I don't want to tell my mom the titty milk is bad. I'll just get out of here. But stop. If she'd have gave a fuck about you to begin with, you wouldn't even be here. Whatever, right? That is one of the biggest things of tethering yourself back into the heavens. Making what this shit means to you now, how you can navigate it for the times of now instead of backpedaling old times. Yeah, because look, you got to know why it was made, how it was made, what they were talking about, what the symbols are pointing to. All right, this is part of what I talk about when I mean confusing the map with the territory. Confusing the map with the territory. Even better analogy, I love this one. It's like you're trying to point at something to a dog, right? Like there's something on the wall. And so you, hey boy, look. And you point, right? But instead of the dog looking at what you're pointing at, it looks at your hand. That's what niggas are doing. You're looking at the hand and the symbol is pointing to something. But instead of looking at what the symbol is pointing to, You're focused on the hand that's doing the pointing. And that was never the point of the conversation. That was never the point. That was never the point. That's what I'm saying. This is the confusing the map with the territory. When these motherfuckers are talking about prana moving through centers of the body, it was a 5 and 7-fold pattern. That was the point. That was the point. They gave you the exoteric, described it in terms of physical shit. What we call physical shit now, because there was no distinction, there was no ontological category of matter. And so when they described it that way, that was for you to live the first part of your life learning these things, because most people was never even going to learn them. They just needed something to fill the void so they don't have to fear the unknown as much as they inevitably will. But those who actually studied the exoteric practices without knowing that they were only exoteric, when initiated into the esoteric side, didn't have to do much training, didn't have to do much of shit. Like, look, when I show you the tetrahedron, let me pull the tetrahedron back up. Because I can use this as an analogy for the same thing as well. Where we at? Look, I teach you all the exoteric shit, right? But once you get here, all I have to do is just shift your perspective and the whole way you see it changes. It was the truth to begin with. But unless I took you through this, you wouldn't have seen what it meant. I could have given you the bird's eye view and you'd have been like, what? Huh? Well, there's a method to the madness. Religion wasn't to fucking fuck you motherfuckers over. Like, bro, you gotta learn history, bro. That's Council Nicaea and them shit, bro. That's the Roman Catholic Church, the First Reich. You have no idea about history. You too busy putting melanin and aliens in the sky. Fuck you mean? Where am I at? 3 hours in. And see, bro, look. I ain't even be able to hit it. Because I had to do so much to get to show you what I'm talking about to begin with. Because no one's talking about it, so I can't build on that. Anyways, okay. So, the river bottom, the flowing water, and the air above, okay? You're not the river bottom, you're not the water, or even the glorious air above it. You're the thing that moves through them, okay? You are the Kundalini. You are the Kundalini. You're the thing that moves through it. See, when I asked the motherfucker what the fuck vibrates, couldn't tell me nothing. Because he don't know. He just know he's supposed to tell you to vibrate higher. But nobody questions what is you. What's the thing you claim that is doing the vibrating? Because if you actually examine that, you have to examine all the implications of what you're invoking by suggesting that thing vibrates. It's easy to just say vibrate higher. It's difficult to substantiate your claims. I ain't telling you to vibrate higher, man. I ain't telling you to vibrate higher. I agree with your claim. You are the thing you say you want to be. But you can't serve two masters. To the degree to which you still playing human, you're not the thing you say you are. You ain't standing up perpendicular, bro. You ain't even close. That's what I'm saying. You ain't even close. Okay, so remember 4, 5, 6, right? Remember how 4, 5, and 6 worked? I started this up, don't I? Yeah, okay. We're likening it to this relationship, okay? 4, 5, and 6. The heart chakra is going to be the center of what we're talking about, okay? It's going to be the center of this process. It's going to be the center. It's like moving through the center of the cube if you're going from one side to the other. It's like moving through the center of the square if you're going through one side or the other, okay? I'm going to say that again. The heart chakra is like moving through the center of the cube if you're going from one face to the other. The heart chakra is like moving from the center of the square if you're going from one side to the other, okay? And honestly, you can do it in the point as well. The concept of what the heart chakra represents in the sevenfold pattern is reflected in the midpoint of a line segment as well. Okay, it's the same concept unfolding. I talked to you about 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the unfolding. Okay. Still need the details of creating a method for myself. I'm like, you have a method. Your premises of thinking is what's wrong. See, it's not a doing thing. And I tell you this all the time, bro. It's not a doing. It's a being. First and foremost. Your methodology is going to keep getting fucked up because your ontology and epistemology are your issue. This is why I spend so much time trying to give you guys stuff to build an etymology. Epistemology and ontology that's not completely rooted in particulate matter. That's your issue, is your epistemology and your ontology. That's why you're having difficult with the methodology. But bro, we already talked about the methodology. You have the tools for it. You just need to look at them. You just got to do the work on it, bro. I'm telling you, most of this work is a being, not a doing. Gotta let go. Ain't getting nowhere if you don't let go. Look at me holding on for dear life 2 years straight. Yeah, bro. Look. Some niggas hold on for dear life and other niggas run. You know? You have to examine these. You have to examine your own presuppositions. See, all the shit I'm saying is interesting. But it ain't the work. But remember, once again, I told you, you're looking at a map. Me walking you through it is like the Google Maps voice talking. I'm trying to give you a little bit of that. But even the Google Maps voice talking ain't navigating the territory. I'm telling you, confusing the map with the territory. It's so subtle. But that's how the darkness works. It's the predecessor to light. It's subtle. It's subtle. The niggas are missing it because they've lost their capacity for nuance, detail. Fuck. Anyway, we're talking about the heart chakra. This is the center. Okay, it's the center of not only the movement but the space. Like when I was showing you the auric tree of life, you had Tefrat. How the fuck you say that? Sanskrit shit. Hold on, where do I have it? And bro, that's another part of the reason I don't tell y'all guys that. Not because it's not a thing, okay, because it is, but because I don't have the context. I'm not giving you the context that you're going to need to actually embrace and have that shit hit you the way it was designed to hit you. All it really be is interesting. Look, Tiferet. Right there at the center. Okay, it's the center of any point from side to side you move. For the most part, to do it, you're gonna have to move through Tiferet. Okay, this is what the heart chakra is. In terms of the whole path, in terms of the map, this is the place, this is the landmark that the heart chakra represents. Okay, this is that landmark. And I wish I had a better image of that. I had to work on it. I gotta get more images of that. Was that the only one I had of that? No, I thought I had the first top part. I could have sworn I had the rest of that. Maybe I don't. Let me double check. Which ones am I in right now? No, I didn't do more. I'm gonna save the rest of that for the Kabbalah one, because I'm gonna do a metaphysical maps lecture on the Kabbalah as well. Once again, man, y'all niggas want the free stuff. This is the free stuff. Here you go. Dig deep. Aim high, Willis. Gotta know the environment and how it operates to navigate it. Yep, Asian atmosphere. You gotta know your relation. You gotta know the nature of your own predicament and how you're choosing to agree with it. Yes, those you gotta know those too. All right. Okay. Now, when we're looking, okay, let me go back to the other image because I want to compare it to the guys down at the bottom. All right. When you're looking at the heart chakra, notice that you have the green with the black on the outside. Okay, so you have the same color dynamic we've been working with. All right, you have the same color dynamic we've been working with, but the detail of that center is different than it's ever been. Why? This is the place where that thing that moves from the mud to the water to the air isn't just set about the air. This is where it's connected to everything. Okay, this is where it connects to everything else. And so what seemed essential from this perspective is deeper. Okay? It's deeper. That's the main thing you're gonna see here. It translates over to here as well. Okay? Because this is gonna get into what you were looking at when you saw the initial squares. Here, let me put this one up over here. That's what I'll do. I'll put that original one up over here and put that one up over here. Well, see, I'm learning exactly how I need to present this. Love it. What am I looking at? Here we go. Boom. No, go to the side. Skadoosh. Yeah, I needed a skadoosh. There we go. All right. So when I'm talking about these corners right here, right? This is what you're looking at. Okay, here, let me make this even clearer. Because I used 2 black lines just to be as consistent as I could or as basic as I could when I was making the original diagram. But to be more accurate, this would be a better way of looking at it, okay? That's why up here, at the very top part of the circle or the sphere, when you zoom in, because these smaller boxes are like zooming in. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. It's zooming in to this same spot. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm focusing on. These 4 exist in relationship to each other. They're all part of the square. They exist in relationship to each other. So what do you have? A 4-fold pattern, a tetrapolar magnet. This is what I'm representing with these colors, okay? Just like you have the elements, that 4-fold pattern, the tetrapolar magnet, which is substantiated from the center, okay? Because I really don't, because look, this is 9, 8, and 7. So I'm trying to stick to 7, but the degree to which it's intimately connected to 8 and 9 is difficult, okay? So this is what we want to look at. Remember the tetrahedron. Remember the tetrahedron we looked at, okay? Where did I put it? Here we go. Oh, I gotta move it over here so you can see it. All right. This part is directly below this part. This heart chakra is directly below the crown. And look at the colors. This is why I inverted the colors here, okay? When you look at the crown, you look at the heart, okay? I inverted the colors. Why? Because this is projecting down, okay? It's only green by virtue of its place between yellow and blue. It's only green by virtue of its place between yellow and blue. Once again, the colors are representations. There's not some greenness out there. And I'm laughing because I know that's how motherfuckers look at this shit. And it's not about greenness. It's about what the colors represent. Once again, it's a 7-fold pattern. I'm giving you the qualities of the units involved in the unity that is the 7-fold pattern. One way of mapping that 7-fold pattern is called the chakras. It's very simple. And I think the chakras are a great example of the 7-fold pattern. Because look, when you're dealing with layers, we're doing levels of 7. All right, the first one involves everything that substantiates the set of levels to begin with, okay? And then the highest level is on the next level. That's when I showed you the thing with the root chakra. The inside was red, but the outside was purple or violet or purple. I like purple. I love to say purple. Fuck. I say purple. It's purple. You want to talk about indigo? Don't red. No, not about that. Not about that. But I've used different ways to represent that. But anyways, that's what we're talking about here, okay? The heart chakra is directly below that center point. Okay? This is the emphasis here. It's directly below that center point. Let's get you out of here. Okay? And like that, it substantiates all 4 points. Okay? Because when I'm showing you this 987, which I really don't want to get into today, but it's going to this, okay? Here you have the 9, the 8, and the 7, the relationship with the 8 and the 7, okay? That's right there at the corner, which gives you the rest all the way back down to 1. But like I said, I really don't want to get into that because I hate how much more complicated that's going to make 7 in explaining the chakras, but because you really don't need to. And I'm already talking enough. Fuck you mean. Don't be no green ass nigga. What? What? Choose green over red always. Well, you can think about it like this too. Getting to green is a new root chakra. Okay, it's a new. What was considered you was all caught up in this root, sacral, and solar, the red, orange, and the yellow. But from the standpoint that all of this is connected, this is your new starting point. Okay? What have you done? You shifted this 3 up to here. Okay? Because remember, this guy's up the top. So you went from the bottom 3, and now you've started a whole new game. Okay? It's based on the same shit as before, but it's a whole new game because you don't leave this context. See, because remember, once again, let's map this as though we were talking about you moving through the concepts of you as human, right? You get out of the idea of yourself as a physical body. You get through these emotions and these thoughts that are caught up in this idea. Remember, see the middle of these circles is black. It's the same, caught up in that same idea, okay? When you're doing that in any capacity, you're less than this idea of everything connected, okay? So you're going back towards the red, all right? When you start from that idea, that premises of thinking, it changes the concept of your expression within the context of the game, within the context of the square. All right, so I'm not saying that you're necessarily expressing out of there. It's like this. To the degree to which the root is inwardly focused, the throat is outwardly focused to that same degree. Okay, but you're not gonna get that outward from down here. You're not gonna get that outward. This is like the shit where you're still in the place where you get mad at people for being the way you are, kind of shit. You know, it's you're not accepting your place in the whole of connection, because see, with the throat, it's not so much about you're talking to people and you're being willing to say the things you need to say. I mean, that's an aspect, but that's the lowest aspect of it, bro. It's your capacity to interact beyond the dimensionality of what you've been doing. Beyond the dimensionality of what you've been doing. Remember, we're talking 4, 5, 6. This is the 5th one. It's going to act like that 5 from the 4, 5, 6. And so it's moving in a place. It's interacting, expanding into a space you have not examined. That's there the whole time. Oh, God, I got to pull it up. I got to fucking pull it up again. I got to pull it up again. And I wish I could have 3 of these motherfuckers up at the same time. Here it goes. Here we go again. Pull it up, babe. Pull it up. Boom. Alright. All this is taking space within this square with no notion of the give me the word. with no notion of the interconnectedness of all the things that are on the plane. You don't see from within the plane, you don't see the perspective of the whole plane being connected and you being part of that connection, if not the center of the whole thing. Okay? Once you can attain that perspective, now what can you do? Boom, 5, right? And now you're expressing into an atmosphere you've never considered before. Because look, this atmosphere above the plane has always been there. 5 is entering into it. This is part of the reason I explained 7, 8, and 9 from the other direction, as opposed to where are the 3 trinities? Oh, it's on the fucking it's in the fucking slides, and I closed the fucking slides. You're coming from both sides. I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna show it. Where is it? Here we go. Alright, you got this side. That's one way of looking at it. Because I'm telling you, we're dealing with the 7-fold pattern. Where's my number line? Here we go. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. I'm funny, guys. Alright, anyways. Alright, look. The harmony of the opposites, right? With the seal, with the point in the middle, the point in the center that seals the whole thing. It's what I'm showing you on the number line. But from the number line, I had to go 9, 8, 7, 1, 2, 3 to give you the point, to show you the mechanism by which any of this can be sealed. Okay? And this is a nice little precarious spot between 6 and 7. But that's what we've been dealing with this whole time. Remember, I showed you the Trinity. 6 and the 7th point. Okay? See, these things are part of the 7-fold pattern. Which is why I had to spend time telling you about it, because these aren't things in your body. These aren't things in your body, and they never were. All right? You're talking about reality at large and how it interacts with itself, how the infinite densities of infinity interact dynamically. Could you use a smaller word and show me 3 more diagrams? Yeah, I know. I'm going to do it, guys. It's okay. What makes you go up the map and fall back down? Agreement, beliefs? Yeah, it's agreement. It's the whole thing that moves any of this shit. What is you? What are you agreeing to? What are you agreeing to? Look, once again, if we're talking about this in densities of like your conception of self, okay? Look, all this is the idea that you're the physical body. These emotions and thoughts are based in that idea. They're based in that premises. Once you can start to see that what you is connected to all of it, more especially if you can postulate yourself as the center, works even better, then you can start interacting. All right, so this is the outward expression. Here's with the third eye, because look, it looks like there may be only 2 colors. There's 3. The white is part of it. That's why I couldn't really draw white on white, so I just let the background come in. Okay, but once again, we're dealing with the black and the white here. Okay, now the black has moved to the outside. Okay, and so that within has an additional layer to it. Okay, that within of what was considered the central conception itself. It has more layer on it, more density. It's now inclusive of the space it's within. It's now inclusive of the space it's within. This was the big issue with the triangle. Okay, we're at 6. It's the big issue there. Okay? Because look, this was the same thing you were dealing with down here at 3. First, it's all caught up in the square. You don't even have a notion other than the square. At 4, all right, at that square at the bottom. Then you get up here where you're moving between, and now you're just like, oh, hold on. There's kind of a whole atmosphere here. As a matter of fact, it's all connected, and I'm the center of it. From that perspective, I can now express outward, engage with this thing. And here's the new perspective from which to engage with the square or the cube. Okay? That's the 6. 7, because once you move, okay, once you can engage with the cube or the square in a full capacity, not ultimate control, awareness, perception, okay? Once you have that a fullness on the square, the supremacy of that sphere or that circle becomes evident. Because look, it was here when you started. It was here when you started. That's the big point about it. And that's where you end, on the edge of the sphere. Okay, like I said, a better way to look at the two sitting together is like this, where the sphere is the purple and the square is the black. But you can't really see it like that from inside the square. That's why I didn't draw it like that, and I only drew it like that on the zoom, on the places where I'm zooming into the circle. Okay. Because the circle is more so the purple. That's the big point. Okay? When you see all of this stuff is connected from the inside, it looks like, oh my God, look at these different things. Look at these different things that make up the world. You got the bottom square on the cube, the bottom square, the top square. Where are those 4 elements I'm showing you about? The other 4 faces of the cube that constitute the space between 4 and 8. The space between the top square and the bottom square. The space that constitutes them and the 4 edges of it, which would be your elements. Okay? But from the inside, it's like, well, damn, look at all these many different created things. They're all connected. Wow. Okay? This is the first time you get in tune with the circle. Why is this the first time you get in tune with the circle? Come on, this is easy. Come on, this is easy. Take your time to say it. I'm about to pull this up. Why is this the first time you get in tune with the circle? Boop. Remember, you start on the cube. This is the halfway point that's directly below what's being projected. It's directly below. This is the first time from coming from the edge of the cube or the square as you begin to interact with the sphere. Okay? Right here. Boom. Motherfuckers want to talk about sex in your sacral chakra. Fuck you guys. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm being a dick. I don't need to be. So yeah, it's based on the agreements you're making. It's the what is you every single time. Because look, if what you is connected to everything and is possibly the center, then what you is somebody who's not getting, their meat bag isn't getting sex. You're looking at it like you playing the game and you're supposed to be fucking in the game and you're not fucking in the game, you're playing the game wrong. It's not the game, it's you. It's not the game, it's you. Only reason I'd say this has any connection to sex is because of our emotional need for it. Alright? And not just Homo sapien, fucking all life needs to do it. Needs to do it. It's not a degenerate thing to want to have sex. It can become degenerate. Like anything can become degenerate though. Okay. What was that? I had answered the last question. I was at 4. I was talking about the expression of 5. With 6, we have what's called the third eye chakra, okay? This is where you hit the other side of the cube. And now you can perceive the square of the cube, okay? As you can see it from both sides. And you've gone through the center. You've gone through the center, and so from here, you can see the outside. Because look, from this side, you're dealing with the inside of the cube. Once you hit the other edge, now you can see the outside. And that gets directly into the sphere. You're not at the sphere. Hey, I can see the pool up the street. Okay, you're not at the pool yet. You're definitely not in the pool. Okay? re-identifying with the circle or the cube, or not the cube, the circle or the sphere, excuse me. Re-identifying with that circle that was always there is your 7th chakra. Re-identifying with the circle that was always there in context to having traversed the cube. See, the edge of the sphere and the edge of the sphere after having traversed the cube are 2 different experiences. They're 2 different results. That's the point. It's not come to the physical world and just say everything's an illusion and there's nothing and there's no anything ever and just ignore it all and throw the baby out with the bathwater. No! Do the fucking work. You roll the dice, you started the game, Jumanji rules, go all the way through and complete the work. Be about your father's work. Don't cry because the kingdom is crumbled. Fuck. You're talking about densities of self. And mind you, this is just a 7-fold pattern. You can do this with 5-fold. You can do this with 4-fold, 3-fold, 2-fold, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You know these things. Don't confuse the map with the territory. Don't confuse the map with the territory. Fuck me sideways, right? Just for good measure, because Elia would like me to do it. Here, I'm gonna give you that diagram. It's the only other diagram I have. I don't even use this one that much. But here, I'll give it to you as if I haven't given you guys every diagram I have. Where is it? Where is it? I'm a fucking piece of shit. Do you see this? I think it's down here somewhere, but I don't remember where I put it. Oh, let me see. I'm sorry, I'm looking at images. No, I put it over here so I can keep up with the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, that's from the triple blackness of space. Oh, there's your tesseract. Did I show you guys the tesseract? Yeah, that's your tesseract. Taurus is a 4th dimensional sphere. Tesseract is a 4th dimensional cube. But that still image doesn't know justice because time and movement are part of the geometry. When you're representing something that moves 4-dimensionally, or it's 4-dimensional. Where is the? Is it not in this folder? No, it's got to be in this folder, or maybe not, right? Yo, fuck this nigga Aries. What is he? He don't know what he's talking about. He don't even know his folders. You're right. I don't. I'm lost in my folders because I have so many fucking diagrams and these are so many fucking different places. Yo, I think it's not in this folder. No, I ain't mad. Oh, here. I'll give you guys the Anu back. Okay. I like this one. Yeah. Here's your Anu. Okay, it's a 7-fold pattern nested within a 5-fold pattern. Okay, it's 6 the empty space within the sphere. It's 9 the empty space outside the cube and the sphere. This is a good question. Look, fuck with me, right? Because this is why I'm saying traversing the space of the cube is so essential, right? To the degree to which you're moving from that one face up, yes. The space inside of the sphere of the cube is that 6. I will say the space outside the sphere and the cube is Okay, here. Because I wish I had people to debate me about aspects of the topics. But anyways, this is one way I've been postulating this. When we're talking about the surface of the sphere, we already have the empty space and then we have the cube, right? With the sphere and the projection into it, I'm thinking 1 and 3. All right, then you have the first face of the cube 4, the movement out 5, the space within 6, the buck stops here 7, that other face of the cube 8, and then moving outside of the sphere being 9. Okay, because you're only going to get that 9 in relationship to the concept of moving across the cube. Just like to get to 3, you need 2. Just like to get from 3 to 9, you need 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, that's what I think about the 6 and the 9 in terms of that. That's a good question. That was a great question. I appreciate that one. Because like I said, I'm trying to make sure I get a handle on how to present this topic, because there's so many different places to go that it's being talked about. And remember, what have I told you today? Chakras are not something in your body. I don't care what you correlate to what. Okay, I don't care what you correlate to what. My eyes are correlated to the sun and moon. Okay, cool, we'll do that for you. Does that mean the sun and moon are in your eyes? No, it doesn't mean that. We know it doesn't mean that. All right, don't confuse the map with the territory. The chakras are not something in your body. If what you are is the whole of reality, and from all this shit, supreme, the I am that I am, then the root chakra of what you are is all of space-time. Fuck the meat bag, that's a speck. You've missed it. If what you are is all of it, I am that I am, you niggas love to say it. If that's what you are, then the root chakra of what you are is all of the physical world. This is what I'm pointing to, guys. This is what I'm pointing to. You're not going to frame yourself as a center of all reality using space-time to do it. It ain't gonna work. Even the niggas who tell you about these abstractions, who gave you the shit, they're telling you it don't describe the fundamentals of reality and can't. I swear, niggas are so hyped to hear the next new spooky physical world thing. Oh, now it's the magnetosphere is what's keeping you here. Boy, stop. You never left Kansas, Dorothy. Up and down the yellow brick road talking to the next dumb nigga you found. Stop. Stop. You never left Kansas, Dorothy. I'm okay though. I'm okay. I think I came to a good spot in this. I'm going to review this, see if I want to expand on it at all. Because I might just leave this here for you for the free shit, right? You niggas say you want the free shit, there you go. I remember one time Brother Panic was going through his folder on live, and he had so much porn. Look, I thought I was mixing up my folders. Fuck you talking about? That's funny, bro. Oh shit. Oh shit. Look, y'all niggas better defeat me. Don't have me here 20 years from now still working with technology, trying to show Aliyah the new diagram that I showed 7 times. Look, y'all better get in this motherfucker, defeat me, have me on this shit 20 years older than this trying to work technology. The man gave up the porn one time. That's funny, man. Oh, girl said, cool, thanks for the answer. No problem, man. No, well, thanks for the thinking about it. Because in order to ask me that question, you had to think about it a little bit. So I can appreciate that. Look, the only stupid question is the one you ain't asked. Alright? Because if you don't get the answer, you always going to be the dumb nigga who don't know. They just want to feel like they know. Why I feel like this can all be so simple and I'm a piece of shit. Because that is it. That's the case. I'm trying to tell you the joke. You ain't laughing yet, bro. Bro, that's to a whole bunch of big ass. Oh, okay, I remember that too. You remember that shit? Laugh, I ain't seen it. That is funny. Oh god, that shit is funny. Getting your folders mixed up, man. Hey, that goes in a special folder. Not even close to metaphysical diagrams. That's funny. That's funny. It's only funny that he got it showed. I mean, like having porn, like it's porn, bro. Fuck it. Like, this is what we did. What do you mean? Bro, I'm that to a whole bunch of big ass evidence shit. Why I feel like this can all be so simple. Okay, yeah, it is. It is. It can't be that simple, and it really can't. In life, bro, I know you know it's this simple. I'm telling you, you are too impressed with the idea of a liar. I'm telling you, you are the joke, and you're not laughing. You got so much invested in making sure you got the clean fit on with no mud. I'm telling you, boy, get in the mud. Stop playing. But my shoes gonna get dirty, bro. I just got the whitener. Nah, man. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Chill out. Hit this low road, y'all. Get off that high road with your nose in the air, y'all. Get off the high road with your nose in the air. Get in this mud, rolling the shit. Face the fact you don't understand so that you can get around to understanding, as opposed to investing more and more in the idea of yourself that tells itself it understands because it wants to feel like it does, because that feels good. Without any challenge, you can't tell yourself you understand. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, though. It hurt, though. Of course it hurt. What you want? You want reality to come tickle your nuts? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Trauma. Catch the L. Don't just catch the L so you can tell the bitches you did it. Oh, shit. It's your I knew, guys. It's your chakras. I told you about the 5-fold, 6-fold, 4-fold, 7-fold. The chakras are not your bodies. Look. Throughout this stuff, I don't need particles to tell you how this works. I don't need particles. I don't need energy to tell you how this works. None of that's part of it. Those are artifacts of the ontology of matter. This world is perfect. It's about how you are choosing to frame it. All right, man, this is good for a fucking 4-hour lecture, right? Y'all have an outstanding day. I appreciate you allowing me to have my way with your Monday morning, because I most certainly did. You might want to take your blanket to the laundromat. That's all I'm saying, bro. Hey, man, don't ask your Monday morning where it's been. Continue with your day. Get that bed sheet to the laundromat and keep paying the bills. I'm your host, Aries Bookman. Holla at me. Your girl won't too. A piece of shit.